Translation: just entered university, the campus beauty turns out to be my online girlfriend. Outside Huadu University, Lin Chen, just getting out of the car, straightened his clothes that had been wrinkled from sitting for a long time. Xiaochen, make sure to get along well with your roommates at school. If anything happens, call me, okay? The middle-aged woman in the passenger seat lowered the window and instructed Lin Chen. I know, Mom. You guys should head back, don't you have work to do at the company? Lin Chen replied. All right, then. We'll go now. If you run out of money, remember to send me a WeChat message. The middle-aged man in the driver's seat chimed in. Okay, bye, Mom and Dad. Lin Chen waved as the car drove off. He stretched, put his suitcase down, and took out his phone from his jacket pocket, taking a picture of the Huadu University gate. He didn't plan to post the picture on social media but instead sent it to a contact named Little Witch on WeChat. Lin Chen, my dear wife. I've arrived at school. Lin Chen, picture. The reply came almost instantly. Little Witch, wow, so early. Lin Chen, yep, I was planning to come this afternoon, but my dad's company had something to do, so he sent me early. Little Witch, har har, that's great. I haven't even gotten out of bed yet. Lin Chen, no worries, take your time. I'm going to check in, organize my dorm, and buy some essentials. By the time I'm done, it'll be around noon. Little Witch, sounds busy. Is there a lot of pretty girls at your school? Don't get kidnapped by them. Lin Chen, how could that happen? Trust me, I only like my wife, even if other girls are beautiful, I won't look twice at them. Little Witch, that's good to hear. Hope you don't disappoint me. Go ahead and get to work. Lin Chen, will do. I'll find you once I'm done. Little Witch, okay. Little Witch, animation emoticon. The conversation ended with an emoticon from Little Witch. Little Witch, as she was called, wasn't just anyone, she was Lin Chen's girlfriend, whom he had never met in person. Yes, they were in an online relationship. The story of their relationship was quite a twist. 6 years ago, Lin Chen had crossed over into this world while lying in a hospital bed. The original owner of the body had become paralyzed from the waist down after saving a girl, and he might never walk again. In reality, the original owner had already passed away during surgery, and Lin Chen had taken his place. The unfamiliar environment, strange parents, and the disability were all too much for Lin Chen to accept. The pain and despair led him to be diagnosed with depression and memory loss. After being discharged from the hospital, he stayed at home for 2 years. It wasn't until the second year after his arrival that he met Little Witch online. Perhaps due to the lack of social interaction, Lin Chen told her everything about his life. With her constant encouragement, he slowly accepted his reality and asked his parents for permission to attend school. That night, Lin Chen got a system that healed his paralysis, marking a turning point in his life. Having been a top student before crossing over, Lin Chen was able to enter the best high school with top grades in his 3rd year. In his 2nd year of high school, he gathered the courage to confess to Little Witch. Although he prepared for rejection, to his surprise, she agreed. This was 2 years ago. During this time, he and his girlfriend never met in person, nor did they ever talk on the phone. The only thing he knew was her gender. However, Lin Chen's feelings for her only deepened. This might be the power of redemption. I'm back. Looking at the unchanged Huadu University gate, Lin Chen muttered to himself. This phrase was meant for the school, as he had attended here for half a year in his previous life before crossing over. Lin Chen shook off any bad thoughts and pulled his suitcase through the school gates. In the female dormitory building B, room 301. Lin Yuer stormed in and immediately sat at her desk, grumbling in dissatisfaction. I'm so mad. They promised me I would greet the sports boys, but now they just changed it without warning. What's wrong? Who bullied our Yuer? Mu Yao, who was on the upper bunk, poked her head down. It's the student council. They promised me I'd be greeting the sports boys, but after the meeting, they suddenly said I had to greet the business students instead. How can I not be mad? Lin Yuer puffed up her cheeks, clearly upset. Normally, the sports boys were tall and handsome, the favorite of most girls. On the other hand, the business department had very few boys, and their quality was questionable. Lin Yuer, being a naive girl, was upset she had wanted to see the handsome sports freshman. However, upon hearing this, Mu Yao suddenly sat up in shock. Business department. Our department. This reaction caught Lin Yu by surprise. Oh my god, calm down, Mu Yao. Business department is just our department. Why the big reaction? Mu Yao, realizing she had overreacted, quickly waved her hand. No, it's nothing. I was just asking. During their conversation, Mu Yao glanced at her phone and saw the chat interface with Lin Chen. She was, after all, Little Witch, Lin Chen's online girlfriend. After thinking for a moment, she typed a message. Little Witch, I'm so sleepy, going to sleep a bit longer. Let me know when you're done, okay? Once sent, Mu Yao quickly switched her account to her other ID, Xing Chen. Afterward, she hurriedly began rummaging through her wardrobe. Mu Yao, what are you doing? Lin Yu asked, her curiosity piqued. Usually, at this time during the holidays, Mu Yao would be sleeping, so her strange behavior today was unusual. Chapter 2, New Student Enrollment. 9:10 a.m. Huadu University, at the entrance. Lin Chen had just stood at the back of the line when his striking appearance immediately caught the attention of some girls around him. A simple white t-shirt paired with fitted work pants, this basic outfit, combined with his looks and height, made him appear like a male model. Hey, look! That guy is so handsome. He's even more handsome than our senior Zhang Chen, unbelievable. I think the campus heartthrob title is going to change next year. Lin Chen was no stranger to this kind of attention. Since his first year of middle school, he had noticed that his looks were far superior to those of his peers. The same was true in high school, so he had long since gotten used to it. He simply ignored the gazes around him. Although the line was long, the pace of university students was quick, and he soon reached the new student registration area at the school gate. There were many volunteers wearing red armbands gathering here, responsible for carrying luggage for new students or directing them to the correct department for check-in. Hello, may I ask where the business management department is registering? After waiting in line for a while, Lin Chen finally made his way to a volunteer wearing an armband with the business management department, named Chen Lingxue. Due to the noise and a large crowd, Chen Lingxue didn't hear Lin Chen's question and didn't notice him. So, Lin Chen gently poked her arm. Senior, hello. Chen Lingxue finally noticed him and turned her attention his way. Are you? But before she could finish her sentence, she froze. Standing in front of her was Lin Chen, about 1.85 meters tall, with exquisite features and dark, deep eyes that exuded a captivating charm, like a male character stepping out of a comic book. This look made her suddenly recall a childhood playmate, someone she used to spend time with, a childhood friend. But back then, she didn't remember much, and by the time that person moved away, she hadn't even remembered their name. Seeing that Chen Lingxue was in a daze, Lin Chen waved his hand in front of her face. Senior? Are you okay? Chen Lingxue snapped out of her daze, quickly placing her hands on her chest. I'm fine. I just wanted to ask where the new students in the business management department are reporting. Lin Chen asked again. The new students are, Chen Lingxue stammered, her mind going blank, as she felt a wave of social anxiety. Her cheeks visibly reddened, and she could only lower her head, embarrassed, covering her face with her hands. She had never been good at communication, especially with boys. If it weren't for the 50 yuan stipend, she probably would still be sleeping in the dorm with Mu Yao right now. Luckily, another volunteer, Ling Xiaoyu, who was standing next to Chen Lingxue, came to her rescue. The new students for the business management department are registering at the red tent in front of the library. Just walk straight ahead after entering the school gate, and you'll see it. Ling Xiaoyu even pointed in the direction. Okay, thanks, senior. Lin Chen glanced at the direction Ling Xiaoyu pointed to, then grabbed his suitcase and headed toward the library. After Lin Chen left, Ling Xiaoyu nudged the still embarrassed Chen Lingxue with her elbow. All right, Lingxue, the handsome junior has already left. Really? Hearing Ling Xiaoyu's words, Chen Lingxue slightly parted her fingers from covering her face, peeking through the gap to confirm that Lin Chen had indeed walked away. Only then did she relax. Ling Xiaoyu, seeing Chen Lingxue's shy reaction, teasingly asked. Lingxue, did you fall for him at first sight? Having spent more than a year with Chen Lingxue, Ling Xiaoyu knew her personality well. Though Chen Lingxue had some social anxiety and wasn't good at communicating with the opposite sex, Ling Xiaoyu had never seen her act this shy and delicate before. Sure enough, hearing Xiaoyu's words, Chen Lingxue's face flushed even deeper. Don't say that. Ling Xiaoyu continued teasing. See, your face is even redder now. Lin is so handsome. It's normal for a girl like you to have a crush on someone your age. At the library entrance, Business Management Department's new student reception area. Under the red tent, several girls were sitting, all volunteers responsible for welcoming new students to the Business Management Department. Lin Yuer was among them. Originally, Mu Yao also had a spot, but due to her stunning beauty, the new students wanting to meet her formed a long line, seriously affecting the order. After all, Mu Yao's reputation had spread throughout the entire Huadu University circle. She was not only a top student, with strong values and a family running a famous company in Huadu, but her one-in-a-million looks had also won her the title of Most Beautiful Campus Beauty in last year's Campus Beauty Contest. With a sweet, lovely appearance like hers, no boy could resist coming over to meet her during registration. To avoid this chaos, Lin Yuer had arranged a separate spot for Mu Yao. She sat right behind Mu Yao, acting as the mascot for the department's new student reception. Mu Yao, feeling bored, sat behind, casually scrolling through her phone, switching between two WeChat accounts, and occasionally glancing around, hoping not to miss the chance to meet Lin Chen. Alright, this student, your dorm is in dormitory A, room 202. Here's your dorm key and the university guide. Also, the meal card and water card can be processed at the cafeteria, and don't fall for those trying to make you sign up for a campus card, okay? Got it, thank you, senior. After the girl ahead of him left, Lin Chen walked up and sat across from Lin Yuer. He handed over his admission notice with both hands. Hello, senior, I'm here to register as a new student. Okay. Lin Yuer nodded, taking the notice and opening it. Student Lin Chen. You have been accepted to our school's business management e-commerce program. Please come to school to register with this notice. See the registration guide for specific times. While Lin Yuer was verifying the admission information, Lin Chen took out his phone and saw a message from Little Witch. He replied immediately. Chapter 3, The Systems Return. Name: Lin Chen. Major: Business Management, e-commerce major. How old are you? 18. How many people are in your family? Are you married? Lin Chen. Oh, senior, shouldn't I be asking for the dorm key, not answering these questions? Lin Chen almost thought he was at a blind date. Is that so? Mu Yao smiled apologetically. When she first saw Lin Chen, she got a little excited and, in her enthusiasm, began asking all kinds of questions. To be honest, only after seeing Lin Chen in person did she realize how lucky she was. His looks were like something straight out of a manga. Even though he was wearing a simple white t-shirt, it did nothing to hide his handsomeness. You're asking for the dorm key, right? Please wait a moment. Mu Yao opened the drawer, lowered her head, and started searching seriously. In fact, she had already taken Lin Chen's personal information and dorm key out when she first arrived. This was just for show. After a while, she slowly pulled out an envelope. Lin Chen, your dorm is in Building A, room 201. Here's your key. Mu Yao handed him the envelope. Thank you, senior. Lin Chen took the key, grabbed his suitcase, and was about to leave when Mu Yao called him again. Hey, Junior Lin, do you know where the dorm building is? Would you like me to show you? Lin Chen immediately refused. No, thanks, senior. I've already checked the place out. It's no trouble. After all, he had studied here for half a year in his past life, so he knew exactly where the dorms were. Okay. Have a good walk, Junior Lin Tilder. Mu Yao smiled and waved goodbye. Though rejected, she was still happy. She had indeed made the right judgment. Mu Yao. As Lin Chen was leaving, Lin Yuer's voice came from behind, causing Mu Yao to shiver involuntarily. Mu Yao carefully stood up and turned to face the source of the voice. When she saw Lin Yuer, arms crossed and frowning, she quickly walked up to her. Yuer. You're back, meow, tilde. Mu Yao made a cute cat gesture, hoping to charm her way out of trouble. Of course, this was immediately interrupted by Lin Yu, who coldly said, "I've been back for a while." Mu Yao pretended not to know, tilting her head. When did you get back, Miao?" Lin Yu sighed and spread her hands. "Right after you asked if he had a spouse." "So, you were trying to trick me with the excuse that teacher Zhang wanted to see me? It turns out you had your eyes on this junior. You're really well informed." Upon hearing this, Mu Yao immediately pretended to forget. Is that so? Did I say that? You're not going to admit it, huh?" Lin Yu didn't continue the conversation and instead grabbed a chair and sat down. She sarcastically said, "I really didn't expect our school beauty to be rejected by someone." Mu Yao also sat down, linking her arm with Lin Yu's, leaning in. "Well, it's just being considerate of the junior. He probably has his own reasons." Lin Yu stretched out a slender finger and lightly tapped Mu Yao's forehead. Considerate, huh? You were practically throwing yourself at him. I've never seen the campus beauty show this much interest in any guy. The boys who pursued you before, you wouldn't even look at them. Tell the truth, did you come here just to see that junior? Your eyes practically wanted to devour him earlier." Lin Yu had never seen Mu Yao give anyone that kind of look. Stop guessing. I'm really just concerned about him." "Yeah, right." The earlier scene was naturally noticed by a few guys nearby who were hoping to catch a glimpse of Mu Yao's beauty. Damn, does this guy even realize who he just rejected? That's Mu Yao, the campus beauty. The only daughter of the famous Mu family in Huadu. He rejected her. Son of a bitch, I'm so mad I could chew my back teeth off. When will a senior ever look at me? Cut the crap. Did you see how handsome the guy was? He's even more handsome than the Huadu University's own, Wu Yanzu. If I were a girl, I'd like him too. Quit it. I'm Huadu's Peng Yuyan. On the other side, Lin Chen didn't care at all about the gossip he overheard. From their conversation, he had gathered that the girl who had been attending to him was the school's campus beauty. He had to admit, her aura was one that most girls couldn't compare to. If it had been an average guy, they would probably fallen for her immediately and become her adoring fan. But Lin Chen wasn't like that. He only loved the little witch no matter how tall, short, fat, or thin she was, he would never reject her. Just as he was nearing the dormitory building, a strange sound suddenly echoed in his mind. Ding! Rejected the campus beauty's invitation. You've earned a cashback card. Every time you make a purchase, you'll receive cashback, multiplied by 100x. Your consumption amount is 2,000 yuan. Hearing this, Lin Chen's body visibly trembled. System, is that you? Ding! System reorganization complete. Activated. The night the system appeared, it had cured his paralysis. But then, it fell into a deep, permanent slumber. No matter how much Lin Chen called out to it, there was no response. He had thought it was just a dream. But now, he was certain the system was real. He was, of course, happy to have the system back, but he needed to figure out its abilities. After all, protagonists in novels always go through a process of questioning the system. He took a deep breath and silently asked, System, what are your functions? The system quickly answered. This system is called the life choice system. When you make choices that affect your life, you will receive different rewards. Life choices. Different rewards. Hearing the explanation, Lin Chen felt a movement in his throat. A system that rewards you just for making decisions. It sounded like a dream come true. Forget about the previous rewards. The 100x cashback card he just received was already beyond his expectations. The maximum cashback limit was 2,000 yuan. That meant if he spent 2,000 yuan, the system would give him back 200,000 yuan. Just imagining it made him feel so satisfied. This kind of ability, which only the male protagonists in rich, powerful novels had, now appeared in his own life. He couldn't help but feel overwhelmed with excitement. With this, he finally had a clear goal: he would build a company during his time at university, so after graduation, he wouldn't have to go back and inherit his family's business. Lin Chen didn't doubt the authenticity of the system. After all, that year, he truly did wake up to a new life in one night, so the system's power was unquestionable. And after all the events of the morning, all Lin Chen wanted now was to return to his dormitory and enjoy a peaceful nap. Chapter 4: The Campus Beauty is Smiling at Me. Following the guidance of his memories from his past life, Lin Chen quickly found Building B of the male dormitory. At Huadu University, the male and female dorms were built opposite each other, each building labeled with letters from A to G. Between the two rows of dorms was just a street, and at night, you could often see couples being affectionate under the buildings, which the students of Huadu University affectionately called Couple Street. Since it was the day for freshmen to check in, senior students had set up stalls along the street, selling unwanted items, which was informally known as the freshman flea market. Among the items were books and everyday non-essential items, but Lin Chen had already arranged for his cousin, who was studying here, to bring those things over. He would just pick them up after settling in the dorm. Lin Chen's dorm was in Building A, which made it easy to find it was the first building. Upon entering, he was impressed by the dorm's comprehensive facilities, including an elevator, but because it was crowded with other freshmen waiting for it, Lin Chen opted to take the stairs instead. His dorm room was room 201, directly across from the stairs on the second floor. As soon as he reached the second floor, he saw the room number. The door to room 201 was ajar, indicating that his roommates had already arrived. Although they had interacted in the dorm group chat, this was the first time they were meeting face to face. Standing in front of the door, Lin Chen took a deep breath and pushed it open. The sound of the door opening immediately caught the attention of the others inside. "Is that Lin Chen?" As soon as Lin Chen entered, a voice greeted him. A sturdy young man walked up to him, showing a wide smile. "You must be Lin Chen, huh? Didn't he expect you to be this good looking? I thought you were just another nerd." "You're Qi Ming, right?" Lin Chen had a decent memory. A few weeks ago, he was added to the dorm group, where the four of them introduced themselves. Qi Ming had even shared his photo, so Lin Chen recognized him easily. "Har har, good memory, bro. Come on in, we've already cleaned up the place." Qi Ming enthusiastically grabbed Lin Chen's suitcase and led him inside. Since Huadu University was a top 985 institution, the dorm facilities were excellent, with private bathrooms, shower rooms, washing machines, air conditioners, and water dispensers, everything a student could need. In addition to Qi Ming, the other two roommates had already arrived. Though they had already introduced themselves online, they still followed the formalities. Lin Chen was a local of Huadu, but because of the car accident that had happened years ago, his parents had taken him to Huahai for treatment, and they stayed there for over 3 years. It was only during the college entrance exam that he finally returned. Qi Ming was from northeast China, and his warm, outgoing personality made him the life of the group. The other two were Chen Shu, a tall and skinny guy, and Sun Bin, a bespectacled, wolf-haired tech enthusiast who loved to study military tactics and play around with new gadgets, a typical science and engineering type. After talking about their hometowns, they ranked themselves according to age. Qi Ming was the oldest, followed by Chen Shu, then Lin Chen, with Sun Bin being the youngest. Once the order was settled, everyone began arranging their spots. They had bunk beds with desks underneath. Lin Chen's spot was on the left side by the window, which allowed him to see the female dormitory building across. To the right of the window was Qi Ming's bed, and as he looked out, he noticed a crowd gathered on Couple Street. Curious, he stepped out onto the balcony and saw Mu Yao surrounded by people. He quickly waved to his roommates inside. "Hey, second, third, fourth. Come look. Isn't he that Mu Yao, the campus beauty? She's selling stuff downstairs." Hearing the noise, Chen Shu and Sun Bin couldn't contain their curiosity and joined him on the balcony. Because there were so many people at the freshman event, they hadn't been able to get a good look at Mu Yao before. "My god, she's so beautiful. No wonder she's the campus beauty. Compared to other girls, she's like a goddess." Chen Shu couldn't help but marvel. Sun Bin adjusted his glasses and nodded in agreement. "Definitely. A woman like that, in ancient times, would have been a princess. She's one of a kind. Is the girl next to her also that pretty? Seems like the business school is where it's at." At this point, Lin Chen had just finished wiping down his desk. As for his bed, he planned to contact his cousin to get his bedding. After finishing his chores, Lin Chen checked his phone and noticed that the little witch hadn't woken up yet, so he decided to join the conversation on the balcony. Although he wasn't particularly interested in this so-called campus beauty, he still felt it was important to build good relationships with his dorm mates, especially since it was his first day. Hey, third, you came just in time. Look, that's Mu Yao, the campus beauty from our business school. Qiming pointed to a girl in a light blue dress surrounded by people. It didn't even need pointing. The girl at the center of the crowd was unmistakably Mu Yao. Lin Chen followed Qiming's gesture, and at that moment, Mu Yao seemed to sense his gaze and looked up at the window of room 201. Their eyes met, and she gave him a slight smile. That smile made Qiming, standing on the balcony, almost burst with joy. Damn, did the campus beauty just smile at me? Chapter 5, The Boring Argument. Chen Shu shook his head and patted Zhang Qiming's shoulder. Big brother, listen to me. She might have just looked over here by accident. And if she really did smile, it would probably be at the third brother. From what I know, girls usually like guys like him, smooth, delicate, and handsome. Chen Shu analyzed it seriously, considering that Zhang Qiming's appearance was too plain. He was the type who, if thrown into a crowd, would go unnoticed. In contrast, Lin Chen's looks and charisma were enough to rival even the top male celebrities. Zhang Qiming, however, remained optimistic. Oh, it doesn't matter. You just don't understand, second brother. Even though our third brother is ridiculously handsome, who knows? Maybe the campus beauty, Mu Yao, prefers someone like me. He was aware of his own limitations in terms of looks, after all, but he still tried to maintain his confidence. Come on, let us go downstairs now. There are fewer people, and maybe we can buy some of the campus beauty's signature snacks. Zhang Qiming, a new college student, was still in the stage of youthful curiosity and innocence, naturally fascinated by the opposite sex. Chen Shu nodded, sure, let us go. It'll be a good chance to see Miss Mu Yao up close. Sun Bin also chimed in, his tone thoughtful. Signature snacks, huh? I'm in, let us go take a look. Lin Chen, however, wasn't particularly interested in his roommate's conversation. Instead, he focused on the girl standing next to Mu Yao. With her tall figure, shoulder-length black hair flowing casually behind her, and a gentle smile on her face, this girl had an air of cold aloofness. Every gesture and expression made it feel as though she was a world apart, and no one dared approach her, an absolute icy queen. Hey, third brother, aren't you coming? Zhang Qiming noticed Lin Chen standing motionless on the balcony and walked over, patting Lin Chen's shoulder. What are you thinking about? Have you fallen for Mu Yao too? Lin Chen immediately shook his head. Not at all. I think she's just fine, but I actually spotted an acquaintance. I need to talk to her about something, so let us go down together. After all, his heart already belonged to a little witch. Even if Mu Yao threw herself at him, he wouldn't bat an eye. Soon, the four roommates of room 201 made their way downstairs. Though it was only on the second floor, Zhang Qiming insisted on taking the elevator. He dragged the other three along and made them take the elevator all their way down to the ground floor. When they arrived, they found that the crowd around Mu Yao had definitely thinned, but it was still hard to get close. Fortunately, Zhang Qiming was strong and managed to clear a path through the crowd, leading the others to the front row. Once they were at the front, they realized that Mu Yao wasn't selling her personal items, but instead was selling small pastries she had made herself. Normally, once the pastries were sold out, the crowd would disperse, but now, Lin Chen and the others noticed two boys in the middle of a heated argument. Zhang Qiming casually pulled a student aside to ask what was going on, and he soon found out the cause of the dispute. Apparently, the two boys were arguing over who would get the last package of pastries. Zhang Kuan, what the hell is wrong with you? Don't you know I've been waiting in line? When you pointed aggressively at Zhang Kuan. His father was a local real estate tycoon, and it was rumored that the real estate market was struggling, so he was trying to enter the tech industry in Huadu. Moreover, his father and the president of Huadu University were old classmates, so when you had a lot of influence on campus. Many students kept their distance from him. Give me a break. You call that standing in line? You've been standing there staring at Mu Yao for so long, you might as well have eaten her up. Then, when it's your turn, you don't even want to buy, just blocking the spot. I finally bought the last pack and now you're blaming me? Where's your sense of shame as a university student? In Huadu, people feared Wang Yu, but Zhang Kuan was unafraid. After all, this was Huadu, a city with a top GDP and an international metropolis. Most of the students at Huadu University were locals who had received a good education from childhood. With the advantage of their Huadu residency, getting into Huadu University was much easier compared to students from other provinces. However, there were also special invitees, children of the city's aristocratic families who might have scored just a few points lower than the regular admissions cutoff. To accommodate them, Huadu University created a special admissions category, allowing these students to attend. Zhang Kuan was one of these special invitees. His family was in real estate, and recently his father had also been eyeing the tech sector, directly competing with Wen Yu's father. Despite all this, their conflict wasn't about their families, they were simply rivals for Mu Yao's affection, and such situations often led to public arguments like the one they were having now, drawing a crowd of onlookers. Mu Yao, however, stood to the side, showing no intention of intervening. She smiled, chatting with the girl next to her as if the entire dispute had nothing to do with her. Mo Lan, thanks for letting me borrow your kitchen today. Mu Yao smiled at the girl beside her. Mo Lan laughed, what is there to thank? You're treating me like an outsider. Today, my cousin is starting school. He's in your management class, class 2. I'll need you to keep an eye on him. Mu Yao smiled gently, don't worry, Mo Lan. I've got it covered. The girl Mu Yao was talking to was Mo Lan, a third-year student in the business school. Before Mu Yao entered, Mo Lan had been Huadu University's campus beauty. Meanwhile, Zhang Qiming couldn't stand the bickering between Zhang Kuan and Wen Yu anymore and decided to step in. Why are you two grown men still arguing here? Back in my hometown, we have settled this already. He walked over, ready to confront them. You two want to fight? Go ahead. If not, then get out of the way. I still need to buy some of Mu Yao's pastries. Zhang Qiming, being the tall and imposing figure he was, created a lot of pressure just by standing there. If it had been any other student, they might have backed down, but these two didn't seem intimidated. Seeing this, Chen Shu quickly pulled Zhang Qiming back and whispered. Qiming, don't get involved. These two are not easy to mess with. Yeah, big brother, Zhang Kuan's family isn't simple, Sun Bin added. Both Chen Shu and Sun Bin were locals of Huadu and had heard of these two families. Zhang Kuan and Wen Yu were from prominent families among Huadu's top 10, which is why they weren't afraid to stand up to them. They are not afraid of me, and I'm not afraid of them. If it comes down to it, we'll fight it out. Zhang Qiming raised his voice intentionally, showing off his northeast bravado. Sai, third brother, you should talk him down. It's just the first day of school, you really can't afford to mess with these two. Just then, a transparent frame appeared before Lin Chen's eyes, visible only to him. Option 1, persuade Zhang Qiming not to stir up trouble. Reward, 100,000 yuan. Option 2, help Mu Yao resolve the conflict. Reward, I for investment. Chapter 6. My cousin is also a school beauty. Looking at the options given by the system, Lin Chen chose the latter without thinking. He could still weigh the importance of 100,000 yuan and special skills. Let us not talk about the function of the investment for now. Just talking about option 1, is 100,000 yuan just to send away beggars? After all, his father Lin Yu runs a company. Although it is a very small investment company, 100,000 yuan is still available. After making the choice, Lin Chen did not care about Zhang Qiming, but came to Mu Yao's stall, picked up the last pack of snacks, pinched a small cookie with his hand and put it in his mouth. Well, not bad. Lin Chen deliberately said it loudly, and Wen Yu and Zhang Kuan naturally noticed him. Wen Yu came forward and yelled at Lin Chen. Boy, what do you mean? Don't you know that I have reserved this snack? Wen Yu, you are talking nonsense. It was obviously me who bought it first. Zhang Kuan also came over, and then looked at Lin Chen with disdain. And you, who are you? Eating my cookies. Zhang Kuan kept swearing, just like those shrews who curse on the street. These two people are old lickers. Don't look at it as just a bag of snacks. In their eyes, this thing is more precious than gold. You know, this is the first time Mu Yao makes snacks and sells them in school. You said you bought it. Do you have evidence? Did you pay or reserve it? Lin Chen turned around and asked coldly. You? Zhang Kuan was speechless for a moment. He wanted to pay just now, but was stopped by Wen Yu. He said that he would not let him scan the code, so this scene happened. Since you don't have it, what makes you say it's yours? Lin Chen asked again. This. Zhang Kuan was speechless and didn't know how to answer for a while. He couldn't say that he imagined it, right? Wang Yu behind him asked back. Boy, what basis do you have to say it's yours? Where's your evidence? Yes. Where's your evidence? Zhang Kuan also emphasized Wang Yu's words. My evidence? Can't you just ask the stall owner directly? Lin Chen shifted the question to Mu Yao. He was sure that Mu Yao was interested in him, so he dared to say so. Mu Yao, do you think it was us who came first or him? Wang Yu asked directly. Although he and Zhang Kuan had always been at odds, he would not allow anyone to play tricks on them. And he was very confident. He knew that Mu Yao would never help the self-righteous man in front of him. Mu Yao was stunned when she heard the question, and then explained seriously. This. It was indeed Junior Lin Chen who bought it first. As soon as Mu Yao opened her mouth, Zhang Kuan pointed at Lin Chen and said arrogantly. Did you hear that? We bought it first. Huh. Zhang Kuan suddenly froze and looked at Mu Yao in disbelief. Mu Yao smiled apologetically. Sorry, Zhang Kuan, Wang Yu, I didn't figure it out. This last one has been bought by this junior first. After hearing this, Zhang Kuan and Wang Yu both froze in place, looking ashen. Now they both thought that their behavior just now was ridiculous. They knew that Mu Yao was helping the freshman in front of them. Boring. Wang Yu knew that he was embarrassed, so he pushed the crowd away and left first. At this time, Lin Chen found that Zhang Kuan was looking at him with a deflated face, and deliberately raised the biscuits in his hand and shook them. Do you want to eat some biscuits too? It seemed like a declaration of the winner. Zhang Kuan was naturally very angry. He came to Lin Chen and whispered. New student, right? See you tonight. After that, Zhang Kuan pushed Lin Chen away with his shoulder and walked out of the crowd. Seeing this scene, the people around him did not want to be bored and dispersed. When the crowd had almost left, Lin Molan brought Mu Yao to Lin Chen. Sister Mu Yao, this is my cousin, his name is Lin Chen, this guy is good in every way, but a little lazy. This Lin Molan is the acquaintance that Lin Chen just saw on the second floor, the daughter of his father's younger brother, and also his cousin. Mu Yao waved. Hi, Junior Lin, how are you? Lin Chen ignored Mu Yao and asked Lin Molan. Cousin, where are my things? Lin Molan glared at him and patted his chest. What are you doing, kid? I asked you to say hello to Sister Mu Yao, what are you talking about? Why are you so rude? From childhood to adulthood, besides Lin Chen's parents, Lin Molan was the only one who could control him. After hearing the scolding, Lin Chen reluctantly waved to Mu Yao. Hello, hello. Then he stretched out his hand to ask Lin Molan. Say hello, Sister Molan, where are my things? This behavior that deserved a beating made Lin Molan couldn't help but pat him again. Say hello properly, will you smile at me? Okay, hello, hello. Lin Chen briefly waved to Mu Yao again and smiled reluctantly. Lin Molan saw that Lin Chen still had this attitude, and couldn't help but lift his ear and teach him a lesson. Hiss, I found that you are itchy again after not seeing you for a few months. Do you believe me? I will go back and tell Auntie that you secretly watched porn. From childhood to adulthood, he was most afraid of this move, because it really hurt. He patted Lin Molan's hand. Sister Molan, it hurts, I said hello properly. Puff. Mu Yao suddenly laughed when she heard this. Lin Molan let go of her hand and said with a smile. Look, even Sister Mu Yao laughs at you. Lin Chen touched his ear with a wronged look. What are you laughing at me for? It's not right for a boy not to look at that thing. Indeed, for a boy of his age, it seems a bit strange not to look at that kind of thing. You kid. There's no hope. Lin Molan covered her forehead and shook her head. Just then, Zhang Chiming stepped forward and patted Lin Chen on the back, praising Lin Chen. Third brother, not bad, you are not simple, it turns out that you are the hidden talent. Sun Bin and Chen Shu also blinked at Lin Chen and gave him a thumbs up. What's the hidden talent? Lin Chen was puzzled. Still pretending to be with you, right? Zhang Chiming pulled Lin Chen aside mysteriously and asked, you actually know both of these beauties from Huadu College, and they seem to have a special relationship. Teach me how to do it. Lin Chen spread his hands, Lin Molan is my cousin, and the school beauty is responsible for receiving me at our department's welcome party today. That's all. Jiang Chiming was stunned. That's all. Chapter 7 Cousin, is this reasonable? Lin Chen, are you sure Lin Molan is your cousin? Jiang Chiming blinked. You know, Lin Molan was the school beauty for 2 consecutive years before Mu Yao came. She is actually the cousin of his roommate. Yes, she is the daughter of my uncle. There is no need to lie to you. When Lin Chen came to this world, besides his parents, the person who impressed him the most was Lin Molan. During the 2 years when he was paralyzed, she was the only one who came to visit him every new year, so Lin Chen always treated her as his own sister. After hearing this, Jiang Chiming suddenly put his hands on Lin Chen's shoulders and looked at him seriously. Lin Chen, no, brother Lin Chen. Do you want a cousin-in-law? Huh. Lin Chen understood what he meant at once. He was attracted to his cousin Lin Molan. Don't you still want to pursue the school beauty of Mu University? Who knew that Jiang Chiming shook his head seriously? No, brother Lin, you are wrong. After a long period of thinking just now, I finally understood one thing. If you only pursue those who are pursued by ordinary people in love, then what is the difference between me and these ordinary people? And I think that kind of sweet school beauty is not my cup of tea. A queen like Lin Molan is my lifelong pursuit. Jiang Chiming acted so generous that those who didn't know him would think he was ready to die for the country. He clearly said upstairs that he had to be with Mu Yao, but now he fell in love with Lin Molan after seeing her once. Men are really fickle. However, Lin Chen had no objection. He spread his hands and said, "Whatever, you can try. I have never seen a man who can conquer her." This is true. He still remembers that since the year he recovered from paralysis, his mother told him about Lin Molan's deeds almost every year, such as the first place in the National Science and Technology Competition, the provincial champion of young chefs, or the early admission to Huadu University in the second year of high school. In short, in the 3 years of high school, he almost grew up under the shadow of Lin Molan, a child of other people's families. Such a perfect girl is not interested in the opposite sex. Rather than saying that she is not interested, it is better to say that her glacier-like cold attitude makes boys who want to approach her stay away. So now she is a junior, and she is still alone. According to her, she thinks that being alone is just right. If 2 people are together, they have to worry about this and that, which is a waste of time. So he doesn't think Jiang Chiming can catch up with Lin Molan at all. After the 2 of them whispered, they returned to Lin Molan. Jiang Chiming patted Lin Chen's back in a pretentious manner. Brother Lin, I didn't expect you to have such a beautiful sister. However, Jiang Chiming's attempt to attract Lin Molan's attention was ignored by Lin Molan. Brother, are these 3 your roommates? Lin Chen nodded. Yes, they came with me to help me get things. Lin Chen was still thinking about his luggage. Although he was not in a hurry for other daily necessities, he still needed a bed, otherwise he would sleep on the bedboard tonight. You kid, you just came here and asked others to help you get things? And it's just a few things, you can just go a few more times, and you bother your roommates. Lin Molan was like Lin Chen's mother, picking on his various faults. This was also a major feature of Lin Molan. Although she was a college student, she really liked to teach people how to do things, especially Lin Chen. Every Chinese New Year, she would come to her house and tell Lin Chen not to do this or that, and she would also talk about the principles of dealing with people. At first, Lin Chen felt annoyed, but gradually, he became immune to this kind of magic attack, and it went in one ear and out the other. I know. Lin Chen didn't care what Lin Molan taught him, and just said yes. Jiang Chiming and others also defended Lin Chen at this time. Senior sister, it's okay, we are roommates after all, and we should help each other. Yes. Lin Molan glanced at Jiang Chiming and the other 2, and smiled and thanked them. I thank you for my brother. You are in the same dormitory, so please take care of him if he has any problems in the future. Jiang Chiming patted his chest. Don't worry, senior sister Lin, your brother is my brother. Chen Shu and Sun Bin were stunned. What a guy, he started to lick her now. At this time, Lin Chen urged. Sister Molan, you heard it too, take me to get the luggage now, can you bear to let your brother sleep on a cold and bare bed on his first day at college? Lin Chen had been working so hard for so long, his body and mind were exhausted, and it was almost noon now, he didn't even have breakfast, if it weren't for the snacks just now, he would have been starving. So now he just wanted to make his bed, eat and have a comfortable nap after lunch. Alas, you are so impatient, I don't care about your things, put them in my dormitory, let's go. Lin Molan sighed, her cousin was too impatient, so she simply gave him the things earlier so that she could be at peace. Thank you, cousin. Lin Chen smiled. Then Lin Molan looked at Mu Yao and said apologetically. Sorry, Sister Mu Yao, I have to deliver the luggage to this unlucky brother first. Do you want to wait here for a while? I guess the person you are waiting for will be here soon. When Mu Yao asked her to use the kitchen, she told her purpose, which was to make a snack for someone and then sell the extra, so she agreed without thinking. Mu Yao shook her head and whispered in Lin Molan's ear. No need to wait, Sister Molan, I have waited. Waited? Yes, I have waited. Mu Yao said, and from time to time she looked at Lin Chen. Lin Molan also noticed her little move and nodded meaningfully. Brother, you and Xiao Yao look after the stall here, I will take your roommates to get your things. Lin Chen. Chapter 8 Separation of Life and Death. I refuse. Lin Chen denied it immediately. Sister Molan, that's my stuff. I know, then what? Lin Molan spread her hands. Then you won't let me go with you. And you want me to stay here and watch the stall with her. Is that reasonable? Can't she stay here by herself? Lin Chen felt wronged. He didn't want to stay with Mu Yao. For some reason, he always felt a suffocating feeling when he saw her. Lin Molan seemed to have known that Lin Chen would refuse, and she crossed her arms and looked at him. Lin Chen, you have grown up, you are so powerful, right? You don't even listen to your sister. Can you bear to leave Xiao Yao, a girl, here? Zhang Qiming also patted Lin Chen. Yes, brother Lin, just wait here, we can handle it. This is a chance to be alone with Lin Molan, he can't let it go. As for the second and fourth, just send them away later. Look, it doesn't matter to your good brothers, don't worry. These two people are like singing a double act, leaving Lin Chen speechless. And Zhang Qiming has been winking at him since the beginning, and Lin Chen can roughly understand what he means. He just wants him to wait here? Treason. Isn't this naked betrayal? Lin Chen wanted to refute something at this time, but was interrupted by Lin Molan. She clenched her little pink fist and shook it in front of him. You mean, do you want to try this again? This tone and action didn't sound like a question at all, it was a threat. Naked threat. Looking at Lin Molan's aggressive eyes and the ill-informed advice of his good roommates, Lin Chen could only smile dumbly, scratched his head and looked around. Oh, why do I feel that this stall needs me so much? He was afraid of being pulled by the ear again, so he changed his attitude repeatedly, and then said affectionately to the three brothers in his dormitory. Brother Zhang. Brother Chen. Brother Sun. Then my belongings will be handed over to you. This scene was like a life and death separation, but it was actually almost the same. It was more painful for him to be alone with a girl, and a school beauty, than to kill him. Because before going to college, the little witch made 3 rules with him. First, you can't be alone with a girl unless it's important. Second, if you encounter anything, you must report it to her in time. Third, you must study hard and don't care about things that have nothing to do with you. These are the rules that long-distance lovers must abide by, and they are the basis for maintaining their relationship. Just now, he had violated the 3rd rule by helping Mu Yao out of trouble and meddling in other people's business. Judging from Zhang Kuen's tone just now, it seems that he will cause trouble for him. And now, he has to be alone with Mu Yao again. It would be strange if he didn't resist. You know that it is quite difficult to maintain a long-distance relationship, and it is even more difficult to maintain a long-distance online relationship. During this period, if one party shows distrust, then this relationship is basically over. Because this relationship is very important to Lin Chen, he cherishes it so much. But he has no choice but to listen to Lin Molan. Otherwise, if she doesn't give face to his sister when he just arrived at school, it will be difficult to ask her for help in the future. Besides, he was here to look after the stalls, not to be alone with the school bell. That's right. He was just looking at the stalls. And there happened to be a school bell next to him. No way. Lin Chen secretly complained in his heart, he didn't even believe what he said. He had never lied to the little witch, not in the past, and he would not lie now. And the cost of lying is very high. Sometimes, the appearance of a lie requires thousands of lies to make up for it. So he decided to take the blame tonight, and it would be up to fate whether the little witch would accept it or not. Don't worry, brother Lin. Jiang Chiming also came forward and patted Lin Chen's shoulder reluctantly. We will take care of your luggage. After that, he turned and left, and then Chen Shu also came forward, nodded at Lin Chen and said, "Come on." Then it was Sun Bin who came down. He looked at Lin Chen, wanted to say something but couldn't, just raised his thumb and turned around to stand aside. Looking at this scene, Lin Chen's mouth twitched. NND, one is better at acting than the other, right? If you don't know, you would think that I don't have much time left and I'm ready to be buried. Sister Mu Yao, we'll leave first. Okay, Sister Mo Lan, see you later Tilda. Mu Yao was so happy to be alone with Lin Chen. After a few words of lyricism, Jiang Chiming and the other two followed Lin Mo Lan to her dormitory building. Lin Mo Lan is a junior, so her dormitory is far away from here. Although it is on the same street, this is the largest university in Huadu after all, and the distance between dormitory buildings is still very long. It takes at least 10 minutes from where they are now to the bottom of Lin Mo Lan's dormitory building, not to mention carrying things back. It will take at least half an hour to get back. And the next half an hour is to be alone with Mu Yao, looking at the stall that just sold snacks. It was called a stall, but it was actually a big table moved from the cafeteria, with a portable oven on it, and then plugged into the power supply pulled from the dormitory aunt's room. These were the kitchen utensils that Lin Molan used to work at the stall in the cafeteria, and they were very important. Lin Molan was now going to help him with his luggage, so it was reasonable for Lin Chen to help watch here. After Lin Molan and others left, Lin Chen stood there, lowering his head to play with his mobile phone, without saying a word. In his opinion, Mu Yao was just a pretty face, no different from those girls who chased him in high school. He didn't play mobile games very often, and his mobile communication tools included his parents and some good classmates in high school, as well as Little Witch. When he had nothing to do, he would chat with Little Witch, but the message he sent to Little Witch at the welcome party just now hadn't been replied yet. So he thought about sharing what happened just now with her and apologizing in advance. On the other side, Mu Yao looked at Lin Chen, who was standing there without any intention to communicate with her, and felt a little annoyed. He was playing with his phone when she was such a beautiful girl standing in front of him. Is that reasonable? It was useless even if he was given a chance. And she remembered that she had posted photos of the cookies she made on her moments. Why didn't this guy pay attention to anything? She sneaked out from Lin Yuer specifically to use the cookies to attract his attention, but Lin Chen didn't recognize her at all, making her work in vain. It seems that she has to take the initiative, otherwise it will probably be impossible to open up this stupid head even after graduating from college. That. Before Mu Yao could finish her words, the notification tone of her phone receiving messages suddenly rang continuously. Chapter 9: The Strong Man. The vibration of the phone disrupted Mu Yao's thoughts. She hurriedly took out her phone and looked at it. Wow, all of them were sent by Lin Chen. Lin Chen, my dear wife, are you still asleep? Lin Chen, the sun is shining on your butt. Lin Chen, well, I have something to tell you. Don't get angry when you wake up. The following message is probably how Lin Chen just helped her out. Mu Yao naturally did not reply, but calmly clicked on the screen of the phone, pretending to reply to the other party, and then switched this account to her Xiaochen account. Lin Chen was naturally attracted by their voice. In addition to the message notification sound, he also heard a hint of Mu Yao's voice. Although he was reluctant to talk to Mu Yao, he couldn't help asking. Did you call me just now? In fact, Lin Chen could ignore it, but the number of messages Mu Yao received just now was somewhat consistent with the ones he sent. It is the nature of boys to daydream. Lin Chen could not help but daydream. Could it be that his online love object was the campus beauty of Mu University? But he quickly denied this conjecture. It is absolutely impossible. When Lin Chen just confessed to the Little Witch had already told Lin Chen that she was not outstanding, but very ordinary. So the Little Witch could not be Mu Yao. Faced with Lin Chen's question, Mu Yao did not know how to answer for a while, and her eyes were a little erratic. When she saw the small biscuits on the table that Lin Chen had eaten, she immediately had an idea. She walked slowly to Lin Chen and picked up the biscuits on the table. I want to ask, what is the taste of this biscuit you just ate? Do you like it? Mu Yao shook the biscuit in her hand, tilted her head, and a smile hung on her face. No man can resist this. But Lin Chen resisted. He raised his eyelids and glanced at Mu Yao, and answered nonchalantly. Let's do it that way. R. Mu Yao was stunned. She was naturally very dissatisfied with this answer. What do you mean by, let's do it that way? She worked hard to learn baking techniques for more than 2 months during the summer vacation, and was just brushed off with a sentence of let's do it that way. But fortunately, she controlled her temper. She knew that Lin Chen said this because of the 3 rules he had made with her. Thinking of this, she was a little happy in her heart, but of course she didn't dare to laugh openly, otherwise she would be thought to have tendencies. Lin Chen saw that Mu Yao didn't say a word after being perfunctorily commented on by him, and just stared at the cookies in his hand. No matter who saw it, it would be a little distressing. So he added a sentence with some reluctance. The biscuits taste good, but a little soft, maybe it's too long or not completely dried, next time you can try to increase the temperature or increase the time. Lin Chen is quite good at making snacks. After all, during the summer vacation, he looked up a lot of strategies to teach the little witch how to make snacks. His answer was not like those licking dogs, who would blindly say that anything made by the school beauties was good, but he expressed his true feelings about the biscuits. This will neither make the other party sad nor make himself look cheap. In short, it is a win-win situation. Mu Yao was a little surprised to hear Lin Chen's serious evaluation. Even if a student was randomly pulled over, they would definitely say that their biscuits were particularly delicious and there would not be any negative comments. Because she knew very well that her face added too many points. From childhood to adulthood, she got a lot of discounts because of her amazing beauty. When eating, the aunt would give her a few more pieces of meat, and when buying clothes, no matter what she wore, she would be said to be beautiful. Even if you upload a video casually on a short video app, there will be hundreds of thousands of likes. It's like a girl's socks. If she doesn't look good, most people will think they smell pungent. But if it's Mu Yao's, then this pair of socks will start at least 3 digits. So from childhood to adulthood, Mu Yao has never received bad reviews for anything she does. She also knows that those people are just looking for her appearance, but Lin Chen just commented on the snacks she made normally. This just hit Mu Yao's heart. She tried many times during the summer vacation, but she always baked the cookies with a little moisture, which is exactly what Lin Chen said. Thank you. Mu Yao smiled. And Lin Chen thought Mu Yao was thanking him for his advice, and waved his hand indifferently and said, You're welcome, I'm just expressing my opinion. But in fact, Mu Yao was thanking herself for accepting Lin Chen's confession. At this time, Lin Molan had already rushed back from the dormitory. It has to be said that time flies really fast when 2 people are together. Mu Yao felt as if only a dozen minutes had passed. Sister Mu Yao, when I returned to the dormitory just now, did Lin Chen bully you? Lin Molan asked Mu Yao kindly as soon as she returned to the stall, completely ignoring the existence of Lin Chen. Sister, what are you talking about? Why would I bully her? Lin Chen jumped out immediately. He would not do this to add unnecessary things to himself. Lin Molan ignored Lin Chen and said to Mu Yao, Sister Yao, just say it boldly. I'm here, he dare not do anything. Mu Yao smiled and shook her head. No, Sister Lan, Junior Lin is a very good person. He just taught me how to make cookies. Oh. Hearing that Lin Chen could make cookies, Lin Molan turned her head and looked at him in disbelief. You can make cookies? I thought you would just stay at home and not go out. Lin Molan mocked mercilessly. She knew a lot about Lin Chen. After all, she and Lin Chen's mother were close friends. Lin Chen's mother often mentioned Lin Chen to her, saying that he was either watching the computer or playing with his mobile phone at home all day long. He also locked himself in the room when eating, and didn't know what he was studying. So Lin Molan had some stereotyped impressions of Lin Chen, probably like the kind of science and engineering man who could only play computer. In response, Lin Chen curled his lips helplessly. I'm not saying this, Sister Molan, do you think I'm an internet addict? Your brother is proficient in everything, including music, chess, calligraphy and painting, and can also cook and play music. So, I'm worthless in your mouth. This is not something he made up, but he has accumulated it little by little in the past few years since he met the little witch. He doesn't know who his online love object is, and he knows a little bit in every aspect, but not much. So in order to cater to her preferences, Lin Chen also learned a little bit. Chapter 10 Your cousin is really cold. You are proficient in everything, including music, chess, calligraphy and painting. I, as a sister, don't know that there is such a perfect brother. Lin Molan didn't believe it, of course. She only knew that her cousin was good at studying, and she had never heard his mother talk about other hobbies. Forget it, I can't tell you anyway. Lin Chen was too lazy to explain and turned to look in the direction where Lin Molan came from. Sister, where is my roommate? Isn't he behind? Lin Molan pointed to the place where she came from. Lin Chen looked carefully. Wow, he didn't pay much attention just now. In the direction she pointed, a boy was struggling to pull 2 suitcases. On his shoulder, he was also carrying a relatively large bag, which contained Lin Chen's bedding. But soon Lin Chen found something strange. Hey, that's not right. Why is there only one person? Where are Sun Bin and Chen Shu? Seeing that only Zhang Chiming was struggling, Lin Chen asked in surprise. They said they had something to do halfway through, and then they didn't know where they went. So sister, you let brother Zhang take it alone. Why don't you help him? Lin Chen questioned again. But Lin Molan spread her hands. I said I would help him, but he insisted that he could do it and didn't bother me, and then that was it, he just felt a little inflexible. I didn't expect this boy to be so strong. After hearing this, Lin Chen's mouth twitched. Wow, this is Zhang Chiming's method. It's strange that this guy can chase girls, right? He was also given the title of the man with great strength, which was a big loss. Looking at Zhang Chiming struggling to move towards him, Lin Chen sighed, walked towards him, took the quilt he was carrying and hugged it to his chest. Brother Chiming, is this how you chase girls? Zhang Chiming, feeling relieved, stretched his arms, then looked at Lin Chen and nodded with a smile. Yeah, how about it, does your sister think highly of me? Well, I guess so. Looking at Zhang Chiming, who was so confident, Lin Chen couldn't bear to hit him, so he nodded in agreement. He couldn't say that Lin Molan thought you were simple-minded and strong-limbed, right? He wouldn't do anything that would hurt brotherhood. But who knew that Zhang Chiming couldn't stop after hearing it? Har har. I knew it. Brother, these muscles are not trained in vain. I tell you, brother has never lost in arm wrestling since he was a child. Lin Chen was speechless. You panted when I said you were fat. If this guy hadn't been admitted to Huadu University, he almost thought Zhang Chiming was a muscle man who only knew how to use brute force. But now it seems that Zhang Chiming's brain may have grown on his muscles, and he is indeed a little bit not very smart. In order to prevent him from being so stupid, Lin Chen changed the question and asked. Boss, where are Sun Bin and Chen Shu? Where did they go? Oh, them, I asked them to buy some drinks first, let's keep in touch tonight. You also let me and senior sister Lin be alone for a while. I have to say that your cousin is really aloof. She didn't say a few words along the way. When Lin Chen heard it, he was shocked. What can be called by the way? Who is going to prepare drinks for the evening now? I'm afraid that this abacus had already jumped into Lin Molan's head at that time. Lin Chen could imagine that Zhang Chiming had written on his face that he wanted to be alone with his cousin. But Lin Chen didn't expose him, and perfunctorily dealt with it. Okay, boss, help me take these things back to the dormitory first. Lin Chen felt that if he continued to brag here, he might not be able to help but hit him. Because Lin Chen and his partner were now at the bottom of the dormitory building, each dormitory building had 2 entrances, east and west. They just came down from the west to see what Mu Yao was doing. But now that they had finished looking, Lin Chen thought about going in from the east entrance, it was the same anyway. And seeing Lin Chen trying to enter the east gate, Zhang Chiming suddenly stopped him. Hey, brother Lin, don't you say goodbye to senior sister Lin? Wouldn't that be impolite? Lin Chen turned around and said lightly, there's no need for that, she won't blame me. Go quickly, it will be bad if she sees you. Although he said he was not afraid, he was still quite scared in his heart, if it was said that only his mother was the one who could control him at home. Then Lin Molan was the only one who scared him in school. Although she was beautiful, when facing her, Lin Chen could only feel the suppression of adults on their children. So he felt that if there was nothing else to do at school, it would be better not to contact this sister. Adding Mu Yao next to her, Lin Chen was even more troubled. He didn't know if it was because of his great charm that this school beauty always pestered him. What he wanted now was to directly. During the conversation, he subconsciously glanced at Lin Molan, who was talking and laughing with Mu Yao. It happened that at this moment, Lin Molan also looked over at him and looked at him. Seeing Lin Chen holding the quilt and preparing to enter from the west gate, Lin Molan frowned and hooked her finger at Lin Chen. It's over. There's no way to run away now. Lin Chen was like a child caught by his mother playing with his mobile phone in bed at night. He swallowed and said, "Let's go." After that, Lin Chen walked towards the stall where Lin Molan and Mu Yao were. Chapter 11 Bloodline Suppression. Lin Chen, did you just want to sneak up? Am I that scary? Lin Molan put her hands on her waist and pointed at Lin Chen. After all, she was the former school beauty of this school, and the current one was standing in front of him. Her silly brother didn't want to look at her more, but hid. Is this reasonable? If she hadn't seen the color software on his phone when she went to Lin Chen's house during the new year, she almost thought Lin Chen was gay. No, sister, I want to go up quickly to make my bed and then have lunch. I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten since this morning. Lin Chen had no words to say. Now he finally got his own bedding, but he had to be lectured by Lin Molan. He felt so light now that he felt like he was floating, and any gust of wind could blow him away. Lin Molan held her forehead and shook her head. Brother, I understand that you are hungry, but we should have the most basic courtesy, right? Look, did your sister help you store your luggage, so that you don't have to worry about going to school? You didn't even say thank you. You were hiding from me just now. Do you think this is appropriate? Not appropriate. Lin Chen answered obediently. What Lin Molan said made sense. His behavior was quite impolite. He left without saying hello and didn't thank others for their help. If Lin Molan was not Lin Chen's cousin, then his character might be considered as uneducated and uncultured. Mu Yao, who was standing aside, was delighted to see this scene. Her little face was flushed, and the corners of her mouth were raised intentionally or unintentionally. It was obvious that she was trying not to laugh. She didn't expect that Lin Chen actually had such a childish side. Usually when chatting online, Lin Chen's image in her eyes was that of an all-powerful and all-knowing top student. The contrast now made Mu Yao feel itchy. She felt that today was the best day in the past few years. Of course, Lin Chen also noticed the change in Mu Yao's expression. Damn it, this school beauty was laughing while I was being scolded. Uncle could tolerate it, but he couldn't. If Lin Molan wasn't here, he would have let Mu Yao know why her last name was Lin. Then what do you think you should do? At this time, Lin Molan's tone eased everything, and she asked Lin Chen a soul-searching question. This question was a free-point question. As long as Lin Chen performed well, she could forgive him, because she loved her cousin so much. Hearing this, Lin Chen put the quilt in his hand on the ground, then stood up, stared into Lin Molan's eyes and said word by word seriously. Thank you. Thank you. Sister. Sister. Then he picked up the quilt again as if nothing had happened. Sister, I have something else to do. Bye. It was obvious that he was going to run away. He really couldn't stand this nagging. If possible, Lin Chen wanted to transfer to Huaqing next door. At least there was no nagging cousin and school beauty gloating over the misfortune. Hey, what's the hurry? Lin Molan grabbed Lin Chen's collar and pulled him back when he wanted to run away again. Lin Chen smiled and came over. Sister Molan, do you want to tell me something? Lin Molan pointed at Mu Yao standing next to her. At Mu Yao's WeChat. What? Hurry up. Lin Molan urged. Lin Chen waved his hand. Sister Molan, I don't use WeChat. Hearing this, Lin Molan didn't say anything, but took out her mobile phone. After operating it for a while, Lin Chen's pocket suddenly vibrated with a ringtone. This is a unique ringtone of WeChat, and his lie just now was immediately exposed. For a moment, Lin Chen froze in place, and now he was awkwardly building a castle on the ground with his toes. Your phone is ringing. Lin Molan raised her eyebrows to indicate. Lin Chen scratched his head and pretended not to know and took out his phone. Isn't this not right? Who installed WeChat on my phone? Do you admit that this is your phone? Lin Molan glared at Lin Chen. Hurry up, do you know that there is no boy in this school who can add Mu Yao's sister? Now your sister is giving you this opportunity to add her, so you should be happy. This is true, because every time someone asks Mu Yao for WeChat, some flower protectors will appear from nowhere to output to the person asking for WeChat, so there is really no boy in this school who can add Mu Yao's WeChat. But Lin Chen didn't want to. No, sister, why do you have to add her WeChat? Besides, you are not her, how do you know she will agree? Lin Chen regretted it as soon as he said it, but it was too late, because any normal person could see that this school beauty was definitely interested in him. Wouldn't he be throwing himself into trouble by saying this? Sure enough, Mu Yao did not disappoint Lin Chen's expectations. The moment he said it, she shook her mobile phone. Student Lin, do you scan me or do I scan you? Lin Molan also pushed Lin Chen. Well, I am quite willing to do it. Don't hesitate, you big man. Who? Lin Chen breathed out. I'll scan you. Ding. What's your ID, Xiaochen? Lin Chen asked. Mu Yao nodded. Yeah, that's right, Xing Chen for junior brother. Lin Chen didn't pay attention to what she said, and clicked to add. Okay, the verification message has been sent. Zhang. After adding WeChat, Lin Chen was about to ask Zhang Chiming to leave, but found that this guy had run to Lin Molan without knowing when. At this time, he was holding up his mobile phone and scanning the QR code he showed, with a smile on his face. How about it, Sister Molan? I said this trick works, right? Yeah, not bad, happy cooperation. The two of them did not hide their conversation, as if it was nothing for Lin Chen to hear. This made Lin Chen a little unacceptable for a while. Good guy, there is a traitor in the dormitory. Chapter 12 Eating and Putting on Makeup. Back to the dormitory, Lin Chen began to spread his own bedding, and was busy until 11:30 in the afternoon, and finally packed everything up. Coincidentally, Chen Shu and Sun Bin also rushed back at this time, and they also brought back 2 cans of Brave World beer. As soon as they entered the door, a middle-aged man stood at the door of dormitory 201. Because the two did not close the door when they came back, the door was open. The middle-aged man knocked on the door of the dormitory symbolically with his fingers. Excuse me, is Lin Chen here? Hearing this, the 4 people looked out of the door in unison. I am Lin Chen, who are you? Lin Chen walked to the door and asked in confusion. The middle-aged man was wearing casual clothes, and the hair on the top of his head was obviously sparse. Coupled with his tone and big belly, he was definitely a leader. Looking at the serious expression of this man, Lin Chen thought he had done something wrong. He was shocked. Could it be that the website that just used the campus network to share good things with brothers was discovered? It shouldn't be. Zhang Chiming obviously shared a lot. The middle-aged man learned that the boy in front of him was Lin Chen, and changed his serious expression just now. He patted Lin Chen's shoulder and tried to get close to him. Hey, Xiaochen, you have grown up so big, uncle almost didn't recognize you. I still remember you were this small back then. I didn't expect that in just a few years, you have grown into such a handsome boy. It's really good. Zhang Tai gestured while speaking, and this sudden enthusiasm made Lin Chen confused. He smiled awkwardly and asked, Who are you? Why, Xiaochen, have you forgotten Uncle Zhang? I held you when I was a child. Do you remember that when you were 3 years old, you received a big red envelope? That was given to you by Uncle Zhang. Zhang Tai always had a peaceful smile on his face, and he looked very kind, just like an elder. But Lin Chen had no impression at all. 3 years old. Who can remember the memory of being 3 years old? And he only traveled through time when he was 11 years old. He didn't remember much of his previous memories. However, he still had to have basic courtesy, so he pretended to be suddenly enlightened and smiled. Oh. I remember. Hello, Uncle Zhang. Uncle Zhang, what do you want to talk to me about today? Although Lin Chen didn't know which Uncle Zhang this was, based on what he just said, he should be a good friend of his father, otherwise why would he come to give a big red envelope on his 3rd birthday? Zhang Tai waved his hand. It's okay, your father asked me to take care of you more. If you have any problems in the future, tell Uncle Zhang. Uncle Zhang is in the Boai office building. You can go directly to the 3rd floor. The innermost one is my office. Yeah, okay, Uncle Zhang, thank you for your help. No, Xiaochen, study hard in school. Uncle is leaving first. Lin Chen waved his hand. Okay, goodbye, Uncle. After Zhang Tai left, Lin Chen closed the dormitory door. As soon as he turned around, he saw Zhang Chiming and his 3 roommates looking at him with admiration. Old Lin, you are so awesome. Yeah, brother Lin, I didn't expect you to be the extraordinary one. What are you talking about? Lin Chen was stunned. It seems that he did nothing. Jiang Chiming came over and patted Lin Chen on the shoulder and shook his head. Brother Lin, don't pretend. Chen Shu told us that the teachers in the Boai building are all at the level of department heads. The department heads of Huadu University are not simple. It is said that you can't be the department heads without any background. This is really true. As the top 985 university in China, if you want to be a teacher here, you have to have a doctorate, not to mention the department head. You really can't get in without some connections. Lin Chen half believed and half doubted, and glanced at Chen Shu. Chen Shu nodded, that's true. Although I don't know what position your uncle is just now, he can work in the Boai building. His status is definitely extraordinary. After listening, Lin Chen's mouth twitched. My goodness, isn't his father just a small boss of an ordinary company? Moreover, he has suffered a lot of losses in the past few years. How could he still have such a friend? After thinking for a long time, Lin Chen still couldn't figure it out, so he simply stopped thinking about it and waved his hand. Oh, he must be just being polite. Never mind, let's go eat. I'm starving. Hearing this, the three of them nodded in unison. They also came to the school early in the morning and haven't eaten yet. The four of them came to the number 1 canteen of Huadu University together. The canteen has 4 floors. The first floor is probably some breakfast and pastries. The second floor is mostly southern specialties, such as snail noodles and rice noodles. The third floor is mainly pasta, with all kinds of noodles from all over the country. It is a paradise for northerners. The fourth floor is a baking area, where cakes and snacks are all here. This is only Huadu number 1 restaurant. In addition, there is also number 2 restaurant, which is about the same size as number 1, but it sells special meals for ethnic minorities. The 4 northerners in dormitory 201 naturally came to the 3rd floor. I have to say that the cafeteria of Huadu University is really big. Even though many parents of new students are eating in the cafeteria today, there are still many empty seats. After ordering, they found a corner seat and sat down. As soon as he sat down, Lin Chen took out his mobile phone. He opened WeChat skillfully and saw the WeChat sent by the little witch a few minutes ago. Little witch, wake up, wake up. Little witch, oh, I thought it was something else. It's good for you to help your classmates when they are in trouble. Even if she is a girl, she is helping your cousin. It doesn't matter. It's better to say that this is you. Little witch, being favored by the school beauty, doesn't it just show that my boyfriend is excellent? Seeing that the little witch did not blame him for what happened in the morning but encouraged and praised him, Lin Chen felt warm in his heart. This girlfriend is too considerate. She really, I cried to death. Lin Chen, my wife is really good. Mew Mew. Chapter 13, School Beauty Guard. At this time, Mu Yao, who had finished putting on makeup, came to the 3rd floor of restaurant number 1 alone. As for why she came alone, it was naturally because the 3 roommates said they were not hungry and wanted to eat later, so she had to come alone. But it's better this way, so that no matter what she does, she won't be suspected. The main reason why the school bell is called the school bell is because of the charm she exudes. No matter where she is always the most unique and outstanding one. So when Mu Yao just entered the restaurant, she attracted the attention of people around her. From a distance, Mu Yao looked about 1.73 meters tall, with her jet black hair casually draped behind her. She was wearing a pink short-sleeved shirt with a cute bunny pattern on it, and a pair of denim shorts that just reached above her knees. Her 2 white legs were straight and standard, slender and attractive. The combination of white socks and white sneakers, coupled with light makeup, this simple and plain outfit actually attracted many people's size. Hey, look, that's Mu Yao, the school beauty of our school. Oh my god, I've heard that our school beauty is the most pure and lustful. Today, I see that she is really pure and submissive. But it's strange that the school beauty came to the 3rd floor alone. What's so unusual about that? I'm just eating alone. I often ate alone in high school, too, okay. No, I heard that because of her family's influence, she doesn't like to eat pasta, and she has never been to the 3rd floor. I thought it was nothing. What if he just wanted to have a taste? Or maybe he was attracted to me. After all, I was the most handsome guy in my high school. Come on, you're not the only boy in your school, are you? Mu Yao was no longer surprised by these so-called rumors. After all, there was a rumor circulating in the school that she was a fairy from heaven and never ate anything from the human world. Of course, she really didn't like pasta, and she didn't come here to eat. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that Mu Yao was looking for someone. She was looking around and seemed quite anxious. Is the school beauty looking for someone? If you don't talk nonsense, how can we not see it? I guess she's looking for her roommate. But as soon as this was said, someone immediately voiced a negative response. No, you are wrong. According to our investigation, the school beauty only eats with her roommates and some good friends, and also with senior sister Lin. And these people are not on the third floor, so the school beauty is definitely not looking for them. The people who were gathered around to watch the fun looked in the direction where the sound came from. It was a tall and thin boy wearing glasses. Damn, it's Senior Liming. Someone in the crowd recognized him. Senior Liming? Is he famous? Who is he? Fuck, you don't even know this. Chen Liming, he is a sophomore in the Department of Finance and one of Mu Yao's many admirers. However, unlike other suitors, he felt that Mu Yao was a fairy from heaven, and fairies could only be admired from afar. So he recruited some knowledgeable people on his own and together they formed an outrageous team called the School Beauty Guard. What's even more outrageous is that this team is growing day by day, and now has nearly 100 people. Their purpose is very simple. Since they can't get the school beauty, they will protect her and never let other boys take advantage of her. After hearing this, everyone took a deep breath. Is it so terrible? Doesn't that mean I won't even have a chance to pursue the school beauty? Mad, I also think that a toad can't want to eat swan meat, I want to join in too. That's right. If you can't beat them, join them. Seeing his team growing stronger day by day, Chen Liming stroked his glasses in the middle of the crowd and then waved his hand. The campus beauty belongs to everyone. We are satisfied that we can see her. If someone wants to monopolize her, you know what to do, right? Clear. Wow, even Mu Yao herself didn't expect that she had such a personal guard. At this time, Zhang Chiming, who had just returned from the window with food, noticed the commotion over there. Mu Yao also saw Lin Chen and the others who were having dinner. Zhang Chiming saw that Mu Yao was staring at Lin Chen, so he waved. Because his back was facing Mu Yao, Lin Chen didn't know what was going on. He chewed the noodles in his mouth and swallowed them, then asked, Brother Chiming, who are you waving to? As he said that, Lin Chen turned his head. It would have been better if he hadn't looked, but when he looked, he found that Mu Yao was walking towards him. Fuck. He quickly turned his head, praying that she was just passing by chance. But often the things you don't want to happen are more likely to happen. Zhang Chiming saw Mu Yao stopped in front of their table and greeted her with a smile. Senior Lin, we meet again. Chen Shu and Sun Bin also waved, hello, senior sister. Mu Yao smiled and nodded, well, hello. Then he turned his gaze to Lin Chen who was working hard to eat. Upon seeing this, the three of them looked at each other, as if they had reached some agreement, and they all took their noodles and sat at the table next to them. Mu Yao also took the opportunity to sit opposite Lin Chen. Brother Lin, what a coincidence. Are you eating alone? Chapter 14, The Strange School Beauty. Lin Chen realized that the sound came from the opposite side of him. Feeling something was wrong, he raised his eyelids and took a look, then looked at the three roommates at the table next to him who were giving him a thumbs up. This is fucking betrayal again. Lin Chen almost thought he was Dongjua. When the students in the school beauty guard team saw the school beauty sitting opposite a boy, they suddenly fell silent. After a while, someone spoke. Who is this person? Brother Liming, do you know him? Chen Liming shook his head, I don't know him, but I remember this man. This morning, the school beauty sold snacks for the first time, and Zhang Kuan and Wang Yu, the two young masters, quarreled over the last pack of snacks. In the end, that boy came to the rescue. He seemed to be a freshman. After hearing this, some people raised questions. So what do you guards do? Chen Liming shook his head helplessly. Our main force was helping the school beauty welcome the new students at that time, otherwise how could we let this kid take the limelight? Damn, could it be that the goddess is attracted to this boy? Impossible, absolutely impossible. It's possible. Chen Liming suddenly said. At this moment, he looked serious. Although the school beauty may not actively pursue you, it is not ruled out that this guy will pursue her in return. So, you know what to do, right? Hearing this, everyone looked at each other tacitly and nodded. On this side, Lin Chen was eating noodles with big mouthfuls, completely ignoring Mu Yao. He could now feel the burning gaze behind him, and he was sure that if he said something wrong, he might be wiped out in the next second. Junior, how about eating noodles? How is it? Are the noodles in school delicious? Mu Yao held her chin with both hands and just watched Lin Chen concentrate on eating noodles. At this time, he was too embarrassed to be cold anymore, so he looked up at Mu Yao, forced a smile and asked, Senior Mu, what do you want to do? This is the third time we've met today. I just want to finish my meal quickly and go back to take a nap. Lin Chen really had a headache. Everyone said that Mu Yao was the school belle and was very cold and aloof, but what the hell was this cold and aloof? Mu Yao couldn't help but smile when she saw Lin Chen's reaction. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. I just happened to pass by here and brought food back to my roommate. Then I didn't expect to meet you again. By the way, I want to ask why you didn't reply to my message. That's it. Mu Yao nodded, yes, that's all. This made Lin Chen feel relieved, as long as they didn't come to see him specifically. He took out his cell phone and took a look, and found that there was indeed a WeChat message from Mu Yao. He looked at the time the message was sent. It was more than 20 minutes ago. At that time, he was chatting enthusiastically with the little witch. How could he have the time to reply to her? He clicked on the message sent by Mu Yao. Mu Yao, Junior Lin, I'm going to tell you something in secret. During your military training, I was the acting counselor for the second class of network economics in your economic management department. Are you surprised? Smile.jpg. Have you finished reading it? Yeah, I finished reading it. Lin Chen put away his phone and nodded. How is it? Mu Yao asked expectantly. What's going on? Lin Chen was puzzled. I am your substitute homeroom teacher for 1 month. Aren't you happy? Lin Chen was stunned. What's there to be happy about? I am your acting homeroom teacher. Isn't this something to be happy about? Mu Yao repeated what she had just said and pointed to the little rabbit on her clothes. This dress was drawn by Mu Yao herself during the Chinese New Year, and Lin Chen praised it for being beautiful. She felt that with Lin Chen's intelligence, he would definitely be able to guess it. Moreover, she just sent messages from 2 accounts at the same time. This should be an obvious hint, right? Is this something to be happy about? Lin Chen didn't even pay attention to her clothes. So at this moment he was dumbfounded, he didn't quite understand what Mu Yao wanted to express. Hearing this, Mu Yao's nose felt sore and her eyes were suddenly filled with tears. She looked extremely aggrieved. It's okay. I'm leaving now. Mu Yao held back her tears and stood up from her seat, then left. What? Lin Chen's face was full of confusion, and he obviously had no idea how this would unfold. Just because I'm unhappy? That's not the case, right? That's right. It definitely has nothing to do with me. On this side, the members of the school beauty guard team were discussing in a seat not far away. Hey, can anyone come closer to see what the school beauty is talking to that boy? Fuck, I want to know too. I'm itching to know. I'm so angry that I'm biting my back teeth to pieces just to sit at the same table with the school beauty face to face. Don't worry, I'll come closer. But Chen Liming stopped him and said. You can't do that. I've already said that our school beauty guard team is loyal and we will never eavesdrop on anything. Fuck. Master, I got it. Hey, something's wrong. Why does the school beauty look unhappy? Look, the school beauty looks like she's about to cry. Mad, you're really crying. Damn it. What on earth did that kid do? Where's my knife? Let's go find him. Go find him. When the members of the school beauty guard team saw Mu Yao leaving the cafeteria with red eyes, they all made angry noises of condemnation. Lin Chen felt puzzled and didn't think much about it. He just glanced at the table next to him. But who knew that Zhang Chiming and the other 2 had disappeared? Alas. Each one of them is unreliable. Lin Chen sighed, wiped his mouth, and was about to get up and leave. He hadn't taken 2 steps when a noisy sound suddenly came from behind him. Boy, don't run. Nima? Chapter 15, Ways to Make Money. 10 minutes later, Lin Chen appeared outside the north gate of the school. Inside the door, the school beauty guards were searching everywhere. Where's that kid? I don't know. He disappeared in a flash. Could it be that he ran outside? No, it should be inside the school. Besides, the monk can escape but the temple cannot. Let's look for it again. After we find him, we must first beat him up, then tie him up and make him lie on the ground, then play a porn movie in front of him, and then drag him by his legs and make him hoe the ground in the back garden of our school. Fuck, that's too cruel. It's a must. Lin Chen stood outside the door and felt a chill down his spine. Damn, is this going to kill my penis? At this moment, a vibrating buzzing sound came from his pocket. Lin Chen took out his cell phone and saw that it was a message from the dormitory group. He clicked on it and was almost angry to death. Zhang's eldest brother, Lao Lin, it's not that the brothers don't want to help you, it's just that there seem to be too many of them, so you can do whatever you want. Sun Bin, that's right, I didn't expect that I could make the school beauty cry on the first day of school, and it had to be Brother Lin. After reading it, Lin Chen's face turned black. Damn it, it's only my first day at college and I'm abandoned by the entire dormitory, right? In just one morning, Lin Chen experienced life and death, beauty traps, and extreme betrayal. How could this university life be so different from what he had imagined? Well, Lin Chen sighed. It seemed that he would not be able to return to school for a while. Fortunately, he has almost finished decorating the dormitory, so now is a good opportunity to walk around the school and get familiar with the environment. It is also a good opportunity to learn about the investment I issued by the system this morning. System, open the panel. After more than 10 minutes of running in, he had a general understanding of how to use the system. After he called out, a transparent blue panel appeared in front of him. This is the main panel of the life selection system. There are very few function buttons on the panel, with only two options. They are lottery and backpack, respectively. This so-called lottery function allows you to spend up to 100,000 yuan to participate in a lottery, with no upper limit. What you can win naturally depends on the amount you spend. The backpack, as the name suggests, stores the rewards given by the system and the rewards won in the lottery. He opened the backpack, which now contained two items. One is a shopping cashback card, and the other is an investment eye. He was already familiar with the functions of the shopping cashback card, so he clicked on the detailed introduction of investment eye. Investment eye, also known as the golden eye of business. After using it, you can find excellent business opportunities around you. Each use will have a 30-day cooldown. The function of this thing is simple and clear, it is to give you the opportunity to make money. This feature is much better than a cashback card. After all, a cashback card only gives you a fixed amount, while this can bring a steady stream of returns, and you will never have to worry about being in debt. This kind of thing that can make a lot of money suddenly aroused Lin Chen's interest. After all, according to my mother, my father's company has not been doing well recently and seems to have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, with expenses not being able to make ends meet. He only brought 1,000 yuan with him to school. Although you can't spend that much in a month at Huadu University. But as college students, they will inevitably buy some light luxury items or shoes, clothes and the like, and 1,000 yuan is simply not enough. This investment eye is undoubtedly a timely help. However, this thing has a cooling off period of 30 days, so one must strike while the iron is hot. Lin Chen clicked to use it without thinking. After using the panel in front of me, words appeared. Searching for the best investment opportunities. Found. 600 meters north of Huadu University, in Wonder Plaza, a popular coffee shop is about to close down and is transferring the remaining rent. The host will be able to see detailed data after arriving at the destination. Internet celebrity coffee shop. Lin Chen is not unfamiliar with this word. What is the most abundant thing in Huadu? Of course, there are some places that are checked in by internet celebrities. After all, it is in the capital of China, where there are countless internet celebrities with tens of millions of fans. They will all check in at some stores without any prior arrangement, which will bring in a large number of customers. However, most of this kind of customer traffic is short-lived. Once the novelty period is over, these internet celebrity stores will go out of business. Lin Chen followed the prompts and came to the Wonder Plaza internet celebrity coffee shop mentioned by the system. The coffee shop is located in a food street and its name is Korean Coffee, which is probably a coffee shop with a very Korean style. Although it is a stick-style coffee, the overall style looks similar to that of ancient China. Can this still be called stick-style? South Korea is worthy of being the #1 stealing country. It deserves to go bankrupt. On the wall outside the door, there is a poster for sale at a low price. This shop is sincerely for sale. The remaining lease period is 3 months. The water and electricity bills have been paid this month. Now it is for sale urgently. Interested parties are welcome to meet in person. It was lunchtime, and the coffee shop should have been busy at this time, but there was really no one inside. No wonder it had to be sold urgently. Wouldn't it have lost all its money at the end of the day? Seeing Lin Chen enter, a very gentle-looking young man at the counter asked, "Welcome, would you like a cup of coffee?" Lin Chen shook his head and found a random seat to sit down. "I'm not here for coffee, I want to consult about the transfer." Hearing this, the man took off his apron and walked out from the counter with an excited look on his face. Chapter 16, Will you work with me? He skillfully brewed a cup of coffee and brought it to Lin Chen, then sat down on the opposite seat and asked excitedly, "You want to rent this store, right?" His name is Wang Chizhou. He had just graduated from college and raised some money to rent this place and opened a coffee shop. Lin Chen took the coffee and nodded slightly. "Well, if you have this intention, how many months of lease are left?" 2 months. 2 months. Then why do you want to transfer it? Lin Chen was puzzled. When this was mentioned, Wang Chizhou sighed. "I had originally planned to sell this store 3 months ago, but just 3 months ago, someone who claimed to be an internet celebrity with millions of fans approached me and said he wanted to visit my store." Then what? Although Lin Chen was not interested in this, since he had mentioned it himself, he would listen reluctantly. Then this cafe did become popular for a while because of his influence. At that time, it was busy from morning to night every day. Later, many internet celebrities came here to visit the store one after another. Lin Chen was slightly stunned. "Isn't that good? Why do you look unhappy?" "A man's meal." Well, it was all good, but one day, the multi-millionaire internet celebrity who first came to me suddenly asked for an endorsement fee. I thought the endorsement fee shouldn't be much, and he did bring me traffic, but who knew he would directly ask for 130,000 as his promotion fee? You have to know that a coffee shop like this, with a price of 20 yuan per cup of coffee and a traffic of 500 people a day, only has an income of 10,000 yuan, and this is not even considering the water and electricity bills. If you exclude them, the net interest is only a few thousand yuan. The internet celebrity asked for 130,000 right away, which was really a huge price. "Oh, is that so? And you gave it to me?" Lin Chen answered nonchalantly. He stirred the coffee in the cup with a small spoon and touched the spoon lightly with his tongue. That's so bitter." He never liked coffee, and this coffee without sugar was a little unacceptable to him. It was too bitter. Just like bile. I really don't know what those who like to drink black coffee are thinking. Don't they have a sense of taste? But Lin Chen could taste that this coffee was definitely not instant. This cup of coffee is much richer and more mellow than instant coffee. Wang Chizhou shook his head, stood up, took a small jar of sugar cubes from the counter and placed it in front of Lin Chen. "I'm not that stupid. I only paid 5,000 yuan. My parents passed away early and left behind a lot of foreign debts. I have a younger sister who studies at Huadu University not far away. Plus, I have to pay water, electricity and management fees here. How can I possibly give him money? And when he came to visit the store before, he didn't even ask for endorsement fees. But who would have thought that just because I didn't give him the money, he started to spread negative publicity about my store? He even made a short video saying that I violated the rules and that the coffee I sold was instant. Then the negative reviews kept increasing, pushing my coffee shop to the forefront, and it became what it is now. So I thought, let's transfer it out as soon as possible." Wang Chizhou felt weaker and weaker as he spoke, and squatted down against the wall. Although he is only in his 20s after graduating from college, he looks more mature than someone in his 40s because of this incident. Lin Chen opened the jar of sugar cubes that Wang Chizhou had just brought, picked out a few with a small pair of tongs, put them in the cup, stirred them until they melted, then picked up the coffee and took a sip. It tastes good. Did you grind this coffee by hand?" Lin Chen suddenly looked at Wang Chizhou and asked. Wang Chizhou didn't react for a moment. He was just talking about his own things, so why did he talk about coffee? But he nodded and answered. Well, this is a craft passed down from my father. I pick the coffee beans from my father's hometown, dry them, grind them, and brew them. I complete all these steps by myself. Hearing this, Lin Chen smiled slightly. That's exactly what he wanted. Because at this moment, a transparent panel that only he could see appeared in front of his eyes. This is the second message revealed by the investment eye. Intangible cultural heritage hand-ground coffee, absolutely exquisite, well managed, minimum monthly income of 200,000, no upper limit. And the craftsmanship that Wang Chizhou mentioned should be the absolute masterpiece suggested by the system. And, obviously, Wang Chizhou did not realize this. Then I think we can make a good deal, in addition to subleasing this store. Deal? What deal? Lin Chen did not answer him, but continued to ask. Have you thought about what you are going to do after you transfer this store? Hearing this, Wang Chizhou was stunned. Yes, he seemed to have never thought about this question. If the store was transferred, what could he do? He shook his head somewhat ashamedly. Well, no, I just want to transfer this store as soon as possible, pay my sister's tuition, and repay some of the debts left by my parents. As he spoke, his eyes became red. He had borne too many burdens that he should not have to bear at his age. At this time, Lin Chen said. Then how about following me? Chapter 17. Are you in love? I want the remaining 2 months of the lease for this store, and then I will open a cafe as well. You can work as a coffee grinder here, and I'll pay you 10,000 yuan a month, how about that? Wang Chizhou's throat moved slightly, and after a moment he nodded hoarsely. Good. Thanks. Even though a monthly salary of 10,000 yuan is not considered too much in China, it is already higher than most people, and he can still continue to do his original job. How could he not be grateful? And although Lin Chen looked like just a college student, one cannot judge a person by his appearance, as he did not show any suspicion at all. After all, in Huadu, it is not uncommon to find college students who can afford hundreds of thousands of dollars, and his background does not allow him to discriminate against anyone. Lin Chen waved his hand. You're welcome. Let's talk about the transfer price. How much do you plan to pay? Lin Chen roughly calculated in his mind that the rent for a busy commercial area like Wonder Plaza would be around 50,000 to 60,000 yuan a month, and only a few 100,000 yuan for 2 months. With the cashback card, it should be enough. Well, I originally planned to sublet the house for 2 months for 80,000 including utilities, but... Before he could finish, Lin Chen stretched out his hand and interrupted him. Okay, I'll give you 100,000. Wang Chizhou was stunned for a moment. Isn't this bad? There's nothing wrong with it. The extra 20,000 is certainly not given to you for free. It must have its purpose. I need you to help me renovate this store and find someone to remove the store name. Wang Chizhou was stunned. Eh? Are you going to change your name? Lin Chen nodded. Yes, the new cafe is called Little Witch Cafe. The basic decoration of the house does not need to be changed drastically, just add some dark color elements. You should be able to do this, right? Little Witch is the WeChat name of his online girlfriend, so it is reasonable for Lin Chen to use this name to open his first store. Seeing Lin Chen being so generous, Wang Chizhou stopped hesitating and patted his chest. Don't worry, I can finish this in 3 days, no, 1 day. Okay, I'll come and see the results tomorrow. Lin Chen stood up, took out his mobile phone and scanned the QR code of his store. A ding sound indicated that the scan was successful. After a while, the payment notification sounded. Alipay received 1,000 yuan. Here's your coffee money. Lin Chen looked at the coffee he had just taken a sip of. Although he said this, he actually wanted to use the cashback card. He forgot that he only had 1,000 yuan in capital, so he had to spend it first before he could get the cash back. Sure enough, the moment he transferred the 1,000 yuan, his mobile phone received a text message from the bank. Dear Mr. Lin, your card with the last number 2154 has been transferred 100,000 yuan from XX, type, salary. Wow, Lin Chen was so impressed when he saw the transfer type. It was actually a salary type. He was thinking that he was working for the system, right? Thank you. This touched Wang Chizhou. He thought that Lin Chen did this because he sympathized with his situation. This also made him firmly believe that Lin Chen was a man who could accomplish great things. Then, Lin Chen scanned the QR code again. There was another ding. Alipay received 100,000 yuan. At the same time, Lin Chen's remaining 1,000 yuan cashback quota was also used, and another 100,000 yuan was deposited into his account. Okay, boss, I'll leave first, and I'll leave the rest to you. Lin Chen walked out of the cafe and looked at the time. It was already 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It must be said that time passed really quickly. He opened WeChat and found that the little witch still hadn't sent a message, so he sent one. Lin Chen, is my witch sister here? But the little witch did not reply immediately as usual. What's going on? Is he taking a nap again? Forget it. Now that we're at Wanda, it's a good opportunity to buy some daily necessities. Huadu University, Female Dormitory Building B, Room 301. Mu Yao was lying on the bed at this time, covering her head with the quilt, and making strange noises from time to time. This made the three good sisters in the dormitory feel very distressed. What's going on, Yao Yao? You've been back for more than an hour. What happened in the cafeteria? Yes, tell us so we can help you vent your anger. This was the first time they had encountered such a situation. After all, normally no one dared to mess with this rich lady. After hearing the advice from her good roommates, Mu Yao finally lifted a corner of the quilt and poked her head out. What would you do if someone very important to you suddenly couldn't recognize you? Hearing Mu Yao's question, the three of them were slightly stunned. Someone special? Can't recognize her? And then feel sad. They looked at each other, as if they understood something. Yao Yao, you're not in love, are you? Chapter 18 I have a friend. You met a very important and familiar person. You put on makeup today just to meet him, but he forgot about you. Is that what you mean? Ling Xiaoyu suddenly got enlightened and imagined what had just happened. Mu Yao almost thought she had taken the script, but of course she didn't admit it. No, it's just a metaphor. I want to hear what you would do. A friend of mine asked me to ask. Hearing this, the three of them acted as if they didn't believe you. Why are you crying about your friend's affairs? Classic you have a friend series, right? However, in order to comfort Mu Yao, the three decided to pretend they didn't know. Lin Yuer took the lead in analyzing. If it were me, I would probably ask him directly why he forgot about me. Ling Xiaoyu also interjected, yes, if it were me, I would ask directly. Aren't we each other's most important friends? However, Chen Lingxue gave a different opinion. If it were me, I would probably analyze the reasons silently by myself. What if he forgot? Or maybe he had an accident or got sick, which caused memory loss. These are all possible. When Chen Lingxue was a child, she also had such an important friend. During the freshman orientation this morning, she had a hunch that the handsome freshman was her childhood sweetheart. Although there was no clear evidence, she always had this hunch in her heart. Accident? Mu Yao suddenly thought of something. Lin Chen once mentioned that after the car accident, in addition to paralysis, he also suffered sequelae. During a chat, Lin Chen mentioned by chance that he had suffered partial memory loss due to a car accident and he often couldn't remember the details. So after Chen Lingxue said this, she felt that this matter was her fault. She did not consider Lin Chen's own reasons, but was making trouble unreasonably and deliberately concealing her identity. She felt that this was not good. I see. I know what to do. She threw back the covers, quickly jumped out of bed, put on her shoes, then sat directly in her seat and took out her makeup box. Seeing her in such a hurry, Lin Yuer asked, Yao Yao, what are you doing? Mu Yao answered while putting on makeup. My friend asked me to go out for some fresh air. The three of them looked gloomy. They were still breathing? Do you really think we are stupid? They couldn't help but sigh in their hearts that this girl really couldn't hide things. Okay, I'm leaving now. See you this afternoon, Tilda. Mu Yao pursed her lips in front of the mirror before taking her cell phone and running out of the dormitory. On this side, Lin Chen bought some daily necessities at Wonder Plaza, and his hands were full. The largest item among them is the pack of 30 rolls of paper towels. This thing is a dormitory artifact and a must-have for male college students. Maybe a pack of tissues doesn't mean much in normal times, but in the boys' dormitory, it is a symbol of status. In addition to paper towels, he also bought an electric toothbrush, a box of toothpaste, a bottle of facial cleanser, and some snacks. In short, he bought everything that male college students had. On their way back, he he did not forget to stop by Wang Chizhou's coffee shop to rest for a while and added him on WeChat for easy contact. When I left the coffee shop and returned to the dormitory, it was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. When I opened the door of the dormitory, it was quiet. The curtains completely blocked out the sunlight, making the dormitory pitch black. I would have thought it was 7 o'clock in the evening if I hadn't known. Maybe because they were too tired, Zhang Qiming and the other two were already asleep. Lin Chen quietly put the things under the table and was about to climb onto the bed when a message alert sounded. Lin Chen quickly turned his phone to vibrate. The message was sent by the little witch. Little witch, I fell asleep right after dinner and just woke up now. Sleeping is so comfortable. Little witch, you don't think I'm lazy, do you? Little witch, yawning.jpg. Lin Chen laughed when he saw the news and tapped the screen quickly with his fingers. Lin Chen, it doesn't matter, you can sleep as long as you want. I thought you ignored me. Lin Chen, let me tell you, I just went to wander and bought a lot of things. Let me show you. Lin Chen, pictures. On this side, Mu Yao, who was sitting on a park bench not far from Huadu University and basking in the sun, clicked on the picture sent by Lin Chen and enlarged it. Soon, she discovered something was wrong. Little witch, that's not right. Why did you buy such an expensive thing? Didn't you say you only brought 1,000? You must have at least 500 or 600, right? The items that Lin Chen sent were all brand names that Mu Yao had heard of. Although they were not very expensive to her, the total cost of this bag was at least 500 or 600 yuan. Lin Chen, well, it was a little unexpected. I got some money. Little witch, got some money. A small accident. Lin Chen, don't do anything stupid. Mu Yao was a little worried. She heard that there was a fraud gang nearby that specifically targeted college students. Lin Chen, oh, don't worry, this is all money from legitimate sources, and I'm preparing to start a business recently, so that we can get married after graduation. When Mu Yao saw the word marriage, her face turned red. She had never thought about such a thing before, but being able to marry Lin Chen was her dream. Little witch, hey, just don't do anything weird. If you encounter any problems, just tell me. Lin Chen, I really didn't do anything illegal, don't worry. Compared to this, I want to know which school you are in. I really want to meet you. Lin Chen's only thought now was to see in person his girlfriend whom he had been dating online for 5 years. Mu Yao looked at the message sent by Lin Chen and couldn't help but feel a little soft-hearted, although she really wanted Lin Chen to find her based on the clues. But after what happened this afternoon, she mustered up the courage and decided it would be better to confess. Wasn't this the reason she came here from school? Little witch, how about this, I am now in the People's Park near your school, it depends on whether you can find me. Mu Yao felt that the clue this time was obvious enough. If Lin Chen still couldn't find it, he would be really stupid. People's Park. He knew this park was right next to Wonder Plaza, which made him suddenly excited and he quickly replied. Lin Chen, okay. I'll be there right away. After replying to the message, Lin Chen ran to the bathroom, started applying hair wax in front of the mirror, changed into clean and neat clothes, and left the dormitory. Chapter 19 gave her a sense of ceremony. Soon, Lin Chen trotted all the way to the agreed People's Park. Not sure if it was because of the intense exercise he had just done or because he was finally meeting someone he hadn't seen in 5 years, but his heart was beating fast and he had an indescribable feeling all over his body. But looking at the crowded People's Park, he silently took out his mobile phone. Lin Chen, my dear wife, there are too many people here, can you give me some hints? Little witch, still need a hint. Mu Yao raised her head and took a look, and found that there were indeed a lot of people here. After all, it is near Huadu University, and there is also Xiaochen University next to it. These two famous universities can attract a lot of people. Moreover, People's Park is a place for leisure and entertainment, and it also houses new students. There are many parents and children accompanying their children to school gathered here. Finding someone here is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Little witch, okay, let me give you another hint. I came here alone, a girl. This way it will be easy to find, right? Lin Chen looked at the message sent by the little witch and couldn't help but fall into deep thought. A girl? If not a girl, could it be a boy? It's scary just to think about it. And it would be strange if we could find it just based on this clue. Lin Chen looked around and found that in this huge people's park, apart from the couples of college students and some elderly and children who were out for fun, there were also many people who came to the park alone to enjoy the cool air. You can't just go up to a girl and ask her when you see her, right? Are you my online girlfriend? I'd probably be arrested as a pervert before I even finish asking my questions. No, how can we find this? Lin Chen picked up his phone and tapped the screen to get more clues. It was at this moment that a voice rang out that he particularly did not want to hear. Facing a major choice in life. Meeting for the first time. Give her enough sense of ceremony. The following two options are given. Option 1, start searching with the current clues. No matter what the result is, you will get a physical enhancement potion that can cure any disease. Option 2, ask her where she is directly. If she doesn't tell you, leave the park. You will get 200,000 yuan. What the hell is this second option? Looking at the second option given by the system, Lin Chen's mouth twitched. What does it mean to leave the park without saying anything? If you want me dead, just say so. It is obvious that the system also wants to give Lin Chen some challenges, so it set up such a life choice. The theme of this option is to give her a sense of ceremony. The so-called sense of ritual is the most direct way for people to express their inner feelings. The sense of ritual is everywhere. In the relationship between two people, it represents a serious attitude towards love. That is why, on such a special day, when you find her, you cannot ask her directly or throw a tantrum, but you need to make her satisfied. For example, on a first date, treating your beloved woman to a meal of her favorite food that you have carefully prepared for her is often much more innovative than inviting her to a restaurant. So knowing this, Lin Chen could only choose the first option. Even if he couldn't find it, he would not choose the second one. He replied quickly. Lin Chen, okay, this clue is enough, I will find you. Although he said so, Lin Chen felt uneasy when he saw the crowd surging around him. It would be strange if this could be found. People's Park, located near Huadu University and Xiaochen University, covers an area of 100 hectares. In its center, there is a huge lake called Shanghai Lake. The water is so clear that you can see various kinds of ornamental fish swimming in it. The road in the park is built around the lake. It takes more than 10 minutes just to walk around the lake, not to mention that this lake is only a part of the park. Fortunately, it is now a little after 2 in the afternoon, the sun is shining brightly, and the scorching sun and the chirping of cicadas all reveal the hot weather. There are very few people walking on the path along the lake, but there are some, so he still has to start checking from here. Walking on the path along the lake and feeling the coolness brought by the evaporation of the lake water is indeed a good experience. No wonder pedestrians on the road still walk with parasols even at this time. This undoubtedly made identification more difficult for Lin Chen, because although Lin Chen could tell the gender by the clothes, he could not tell whether the person under the umbrella was a female college student or an elderly lady. Excuse me, does your name contain the word snow? Fortunately, Lin Chen is not a socially anxious person. At this time, he stopped a girl holding a parasol on the road. The word snow was a clue that Lin Chen got from the last word of the WeChat transfer. Everyone who uses WeChat needs to authenticate their real name, and by clicking on the transfer button you can find out the last characters of that person's name. The last character in the little witch's name is Shui, so Lin Chen asked this question. A. Wang Chiru, who was thinking on the road, was slightly stunned when she saw the boy in front of her. May I ask who you are? She did not answer Lin Chen's question, but asked about Lin Chen's identity. Lin Chen smiled awkwardly. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say my own name before asking for others' names. My name is Lin Chen, and I'm a student at Huadu University. Then I want to ask if your name contains the word snow. Lin Chen's series of actions made Wang Chiru somewhat unsure of what Lin Chen was trying to do. If Lin Chen didn't look quite handsome, he might be considered a psychopath. Fortunately, Wang Chiru often goes to her brother's coffee shop to help, so she is not too afraid to talk to strangers. But she could vaguely understand what Lin Chen meant. He should be looking for someone, right? Well, my name is Wang Chiru, and I'm a student at Xiaochen University. I'm not the person you're looking for. If you're looking for someone, you can go to the Scholars Pavilion over there. I just came back from there. There are a lot of students there. The person you're looking for might be there. Out of politeness, Wang Chiru told Lin Chen her name and patiently pointed out the location of the Scholars Pavilion to Lin Chen. Okay, thank you. Sorry for bothering me. After expressing his gratitude, Lin Chen hurried towards the direction of the scholar chanting. Chapter 20, Senior, don't let them look for me. During the Tang and Song dynasties, the rulers admired reading and loved scholars. They specially built pavilions in various places for scholars to study and take exams. These pavilions were later called scholars' pavilions. Although this pavilion should have been demolished long ago, the Chinese people's reverence for their ancestors is engraved in their bones. In addition, the scholars' pavilion represents a beautiful meaning, so this pavilion has been passed down to this day. The scholars' pavilion runs through a small lake that is 100 meters wide. Behind it is an endless sea of flowers. You can smell the fragrance of flowers just by standing here. Generally speaking, this place is the most lively at night, but now the seats on both sides of the pavilion are full of people. They are all college students who come here to study. It is said that by studying here, they can receive blessings from ancient literati and righteous men, and their academic performance will flourish. But this was a bit of a headache for Lin Chen. Standing at the entrance of the scholars' pavilion, he could not see the end in sight. The scholars' pavilion is long and winding, with a pair of tables and chairs between every two pillars supporting the pavilion. The pillars cleverly form partitions. Sitting on the chairs, you can enjoy the view of the sea of flowers not far away, and feel the coolness brought by the lake water below the pavilion. The seats on both sides of the pavilion were filled with students studying quietly. Moreover, most of them are girls who come here alone in search of a quiet study environment. It is really difficult for him to find someone he has never met before. But no matter how difficult it was, he had to find it. Lin Chen looked in each cubicle one by one and soon locked on the target. He walked up to a girl who was studying alone and stopped. Excuse me, can I ask you something? The girl was wearing white wired headphones and was sitting upright, reading a book on general surgery. If Lin Chen hadn't suddenly sat next to her, she might have fallen asleep. Medical students really have a hard life. What did you just say? The girl shook her head, took off the earphone in her right ear, and looked at Lin Chen. Oh, I wanted to ask, does your name contain the word shui? Lin Chen repeated the question again. The girl chuckled when she heard that. She thought it was some new way of chatting up someone that her little fanboy at school had come up with, so she replied. My name contains snow. Lin Chen was a little surprised after hearing this. Could this be the person he was looking for? And judging from the expression and tone, there is no difference. But the process still had to be followed, and he asked gentlemanly, then, may I have the honor of knowing your name? Qiu Shui was stunned. This junior was quite pretentious. But after taking a closer look, she found that he was quite handsome, much more handsome than the so-called school hunk in their school. He must be a new junior, right? Thinking this in her heart, Qiu Shui's mouth corners slightly raised. My name is Qiu Shui. Are you a new student who just enrolled today? Hearing Qiu Shui's name, Lin Chen suddenly frowned. Something was wrong. His girlfriend's WeChat name should have 3 characters. Qiu Shui was only 2 characters. The characters were correct, but the number of characters was wrong. He nodded. Yes, I just enrolled today. Senior, is your full name Qiu Shui? This sudden question made Qiu Shui a little stunned. What the hell? Even if she was a freshman, she shouldn't have remembered her name wrong. After all, she was still the campus beauty of Huadu University. If her name wasn't Qiu Shui, could it be Qiu Yu? She nodded woodenly, yes, junior brother, you. Just as Qiu Shui was about to ask something, Lin Chen suddenly put his hands together and apologized. I'm sorry, senior sister, I recognized the wrong person, sorry. After saying that, Lin Chen hurriedly left in shame. Why? Qiu Shuiren was stunned. Did she recognize the wrong person? What the hell? She suddenly felt as if she had been fooled. On this side, Lin Chen walked through the winding scholars' pavilion, stopping and starting, and finally saw a girl sitting alone. However, the girl had her back to him. Lin Chen plucked up his courage, walked up to her and patted her on the shoulder. My classmate, you. When he saw the girl's appearance, he regretted it. Senior. Why are you here? That's right, he met Mu Yao, the school belle of their school, again. Including this time, this is the 4th time this has happened. Lin Chen even suspects that Mu Yao has installed a GPS tracking device on him. Mu Yao smiled slightly when she saw Lin Chen coming over. Why am I here, don't you know? Mu Yao also shook her phone, trying to remind Lin Chen of something. Lin Chen looked at his phone and suddenly thought of something. Senior sister, could it be that you are? Mu Yao swallowed and asked, what is it? Lin Chen blurted out, is it because I didn't reply this morning that you ran here and felt sad alone? Huh. Mu Yao discovered that Lin Chen's train of thought seemed to be quite novel. Lin Chen continued to explain, Senior sister, I am really wronged. I really didn't mean to ignore your message this morning. I was too busy going back to the dormitory at that time, and then I went to the cafeteria to eat after cleaning up. You know what happened next. I really didn't mean it. So please, go back and tell those guards not to chase me. They said they want to bury me in the hills behind the school. It's terrifying. Lin Chen begged desperately. He was afraid that he would be worried like this in the future. He had just arrived at university. The more Mu Yao listened, the darker her face became. She thought to herself, I've already given you so many hints, and you're still talking to me about this? But she still asked him hopefully. Anything else you want to say besides this? Lin Chen immediately shook his head, his attitude was very firm, no more. Chapter 21, Girlfriend is a Tank. Mu Yao was so angry that her mind was confused. Is this guy really stupid? And they met by chance. How could such a coincidence happen? Doesn't he even think about why? But this cannot be blamed on Lin Chen, because he never thought that the school beauty in front of him was his online girlfriend. It's just the name that's wrong, right? One is called XX Shui and the other is called Mu Yao. How could Lin Chen possibly make the connection? So when he saw Mu Yao's angry face, Lin Chen didn't know what he had said wrong, but he always felt inexplicably uneasy in his heart, as if something big was going to happen soon. But his girlfriend was still waiting for him, so he didn't think much about it and asked tentatively, well, Senior Mu, if everything is okay, I'll leave first, see you tomorrow. Lin Chen ran away after he finished speaking. Anyone who didn't run away in that situation was a fool. Next, he followed the long pavilion to find the location of his online girlfriend, but when he was halfway there, the little witch sent him a message. Little witch, you idiot. You clearly saw me, why didn't you come over? You are so stupid. Lin Chen. Impossible, I asked every girl who was sitting alone, there's no way I missed any of them. Lin Chen, I'll go back now. Little witch, forget it today. Something happened in the dormitory. We can talk about it later. I've already gone back. It's all your fault for not having good eyesight. Little witch, pouting. JPG. Lin Chen, no. He was dumbfounded, there was no way he would miss it. Lin Chen found a seat and sat down, then began to carefully recall the path he had taken. Walk along the path along the lake and past the scholars' pavilion halfway. He would not miss the path along the lake, and he probably wouldn't meet many girls walking alone. So he dared to conclude that the little witch was in this scholars' pavilion. But he had no idea which one it was. So he closed his eyes and recalled all the people he had just met in the scholars' pavilion. In an instant, he seemed to be back in the moment when he first entered the scholars' pavilion. The first person I saw was a very delicate girl with outstanding looks, but still a little inferior to Mu Yao. He remembered that the girl's name was Chiu Shui, and his girlfriend was 3 words long, so that was not what he wanted to find. Then I met Mu Yao, I will skip this. Next were some ordinary girls, but he soon discovered a blind spot in his memory. There was a girl sitting alone, but Lin Chen did not ask her because it was really difficult for her to speak. Just because of her size, she was the same size as a tiger tank, so Lin Chen passed her up without even thinking about it. No way. Lin Chen swallowed his saliva. Although the tiger tank was everyone's dream, his physique might not be enough, right? So Lin Chen decided to find out. Even if it was really that girl, he said that he would not despise her and would accompany her to lose weight. She would definitely look good after losing weight. Lin Chen comforted himself in this way, but in fact he was praying in his heart that it was not a tank. But the things you least want to happen often happen. When he got to that position, the girl was gone. The little witch also said that she had to go back for something. In this way, it was almost certain that it would happen. Alas, it seems I have to learn how to make a diet meal when I get back. Lin Chen is a principled man. He will not judge a person based on his appearance, height or weight. If that's the case, then wouldn't he be no different from an ordinary person? Since he has a second chance to live his life, he might as well live it according to his own ideas. Buzz. At this moment, his pocket vibrated. Lin Chen took out his mobile phone and opened WeChat. It was a message from his cousin Lin Molan. Lin Molan, cousin, are you free now? Seeing that it was sent by his cousin, Lin Chen didn't think much about it and replied truthfully. Lin Chen, I'm fine for now, what's wrong, cousin? Lin Molan, since you have nothing to do, come and help me look after the store. I have to go out for a while. Lin Chen, if you go out, why don't you just close the store? Lin Chen heard from his mother that Lin Molan had booked a window in the school cafeteria to sell her own baked desserts, and it was said that the business was very prosperous. Lin Molan, are you stupid? I have already put the desserts in the oven for the afternoon sale. These desserts cannot be left overnight. Otherwise, why would I come to you? Lin Chen, is that so? Okay, I'll be back soon. Lin Chen thought, there is nothing to do, so he might as well go over and take a look. Chapter 22, My Sister Tastes Good. The window contracted by Lin Molan is in the number 1 restaurant of Huadu University. The 4th floor of number 1 restaurant specializes in selling snacks and desserts. Lin Molan's window is in the middle and most conspicuous position on the 4th floor. As soon as I got off the elevator, I saw Lin Molan's pretty figure standing in front of my window. Seeing Lin Chen, she smiled and waved. Lin Chen, here. Lin Chen walked forward slowly and spread his hands helplessly. Sister, how long are you going to be gone? I can only help you for 2 hours at most. 2 hours is enough. Come here and I'll teach you the basics. Lin Molan pulled Lin Chen into the kitchen. This is the biscuit section. I've already taken out the biscuits and packed them. If someone comes to buy some, just give them to them. A pack of biscuits like this costs about 15 yuan. 15 yuan. Lin Chen shouted. Sister, are you sure this isn't a money grab? $15 for just a small bag of cookies. He picked it up and tossed it up twice to feel its weight. It's about the weight of 2 small bags of Oreos combined. One batch can make more than 20 packs of these cookies, and just one batch can be sold for 300. Lin Chen was puzzled, very puzzled. No one will buy this, right? Seeing Lin Chen's surprised look, Lin Molan looked very proud. Brother, you underestimate my cooking skills. Come, have a taste of it. Then she put a biscuit in front of Lin Chen's mouth. Lin Chen avoided it and took a half step back. Cousin, I'm grown up now, you don't have to feed me. Hearing this, Lin Molan stepped forward and stretched out her other finger to tap Lin Chen's forehead. Oh, you were lying on the bed at that time. I was the one who fed you every time I went to your house. Are you starting to dislike me now? The year Lin Chen first traveled through time, he was paralyzed and in despair. He had to eat and drink in bed. After Lin Molan heard about it, she took care of him for 2 months during the summer vacation. How dare I despise you, sister? I was wrong, Although Lin Chen looked reluctant, he still opened his mouth and took a bite of the biscuit that Lin Molan brought him. How is it? Does it taste good? Lin Molan asked expectantly. Lin Chen chewed it carefully and swallowed it, then raised his thumb and nodded heavily. Not bad, my sister tastes really good. His evaluation was true. They were much better than the cookies made by Mu Yao that I had eaten in the morning. Lin Molan was very proud. You are the only one who can talk, but don't you see who I am, your elder sister? So $15 for this pack is already cheap enough. And it was made by a beauty like me, how could they not like it? That makes sense. Lin Chen nodded in agreement. His sister was once the school belle, and the food she made had her beauty added to it, so 15 yuan didn't seem expensive at all. Okay, come look over here. Lin Molan walked inside and Lin Chen followed closely behind. There are 2 birthday cakes here. Someone will come to pick up the big one soon. It's already been paid for. The small one was originally meant for me, but something happened to me. You can have it if you want. Then there are other desserts here, cream puffs and milfoil, all made by my sister herself. These are all 15 yuan a pack, and if they want to buy something, you just tap the card machine, enter the amount, and let them put down their meal card and swipe it. That's all for now. Is there anything else you don't understand? After Lin Molan introduced herself, she looked at Lin Chen and asked. There is none left. Lin Chen shook his head. Such a simple operation would certainly not be difficult for him. He thought that there wouldn't be so many people coming to buy. He guessed that a large number of them came for Lin Molan, and they would probably leave when they found out that he was the one selling it. Okay, if you don't have any, then I'll leave it to you. Just eat anything if you're hungry. Okay, goodbye cousin. Lin Molan packed up and walked out of the restaurant, while Lin Chen found a stool in the kitchen and sat down. This side, the girls' dormitory, 301. Mu Yao just came back. She didn't come back with an excuse, but something really happened in the dormitory, and it was a big deal. Yao Yao, I thought you were going to meet your lover and ignored Xiaochue's birthday. Mu Yao immediately denied it. How is that possible? Where did my lover come from? I already said I was going to see a friend. And I remember it very clearly. I even bought a gift for it. Dang dang. Happy birthday, Xiaochue. Mu Yao took out a small bunch of flowers that she had just bought on the roadside from behind her. Yao Yao, thank you. You are so beautiful. Although it is a very common bunch of flowers, for girls, flowers are the best gift. Hey, it looks like you guys are getting ready to go out. Mu Yao asked as she looked at the three of them getting ready to go. Yes, I ordered a cake for myself yesterday, and it was at senior sister Lin's place. Xiaochue replied. Lin Yu also stepped forward and held Mu Yao's arm. That's great, Yao Yao, come with us. Aren't you scared to be alone in the dormitory? Okay. Let's go. Chapter 23, Business is Booming. Hey, I heard that there's a very handsome junior selling dim sum at senior sister Lin's dim sum window. Really? Let's go and have a look. Huadu University. 2:40 p.m. It was already past lunchtime, and all the windows that had been busy all afternoon had returned to normal. But at this moment, a dessert window on the 4th floor of restaurant number 1 was crowded with people. These people are all girls. It's not because the snacks in this store are so delicious, but because the person selling snacks in this store has touched their hearts. In short, they are attracted by her beauty. This situation is not uncommon in college. If there is a person with outstanding looks somewhere, as long as one person discovers it, he will tell his brothers or good sisters. Word of mouth will spread from one person to 10, and from 10 to 100. Such a person will attract a large group of people who come to watch. This is also known as the campus star effect, and this situation is most prominent among female college students. Hey, there are so many people. Yeah, I don't usually see this many. Mu Yao and others who had just walked out of the elevator questioned the line in front of them that was almost reaching the elevator entrance. And I don't know if you've noticed, there seem to be a lot of girls today. Chen Lingxue usually likes to come here to buy the 1,000-layer puff pastry made by Lin Molan, but usually there are more boys here. She was a little uncomfortable to see so many girls lining up today. Lin Yu didn't care, maybe Sister Molan has made some new dessert, and girls like it. Makes sense. Let's get in line first. Don't we have to go to the restaurant we booked to celebrate our birthday at 6 o'clock? Okay, then Xiaochue, you wait in line here first. The three of us will go downstairs to the supermarket to buy some other things, and then wait in the lobby on the first floor. Okay, go ahead then. Mu Yao and the other two took the elevator down to the first floor, leaving only Chen Lingxue waiting on the 4th floor. On this side, Lin Chen has been busy since 10 minutes ago and has not rested since then. He secretly felt that his cousin's business was really good. Hello, what would you like to order? The girl standing in front of the window was wearing black framed glasses and a Lolita-made skirt. She was carrying a small bag across her shoulder and looked to be only about 1.55 meters tall. With her little girl looks and timid expression, she was really adorable. Looking at the hesitant girl in front of him, Lin Chen thought she didn't hear him, so he asked again, this time his voice was a little louder. Classmate? Do you want to buy something? But the girl in front of him did not fail to hear it. Instead, she took the opportunity to keep looking at Lin Chen. It must be said that Lin Chen had delicate features and a youthful voice with a hint of vicissitudes, which completely touched her XP. This classmate. Lin Chen waved in front of her, and she stammered. Just a pack of cookies. She actually came here specifically to see Lin Chen, but it was not a good idea to queue up without buying anything. Okay, please wait. Lin Chen took out a pack of biscuits from the window and handed it to her, then skillfully pressed twice on the card machine. A pack of biscuits is 15 yuan. Thanks. The girl took the biscuit and thanked him, then took out her meal card and pressed it on the card reader. After hearing a sound of card swiping successfully, she put the card back into her pocket. But after swiping the card, she didn't mean to leave. Seeing this, Lin Chen asked, "Do you need anything else?" The girl pointed at Lin Chen. "Can I take a picture of you?" Then she hastened to explain. "Well, don't get me wrong. I'm a junior in the photography department of our school." As she spoke, she unzipped her cross-body bag and pulled out a Sony A7M for camera. "I'm graduating next year, and my teacher asked us to take a perfect photo as our graduation project, and specifically asked us to take photos of the opposite sex." Hearing this, Lin Chen continued her words. "You mean you want to take a photo of me for your graduation project?" The girl nodded frantically. "Yeah. That's what I mean." In order to get Lin Chen to agree, she added, "Besides, don't worry. I will pay you after the filming. You can ask me to do anything." This immediately aroused Lin Chen's interest, and he asked back. "Really, anything is fine." Hearing this, she nodded timidly and hesitantly. Maybe. Okay, it's a deal then. Please add me on WeChat first, and then I'll send you a message when I'm free." Lin Chen took out his mobile phone and showed his QR code. "Aha!" The girl nodded and scanned and added Lin Chen. This action stunned the girl behind, who was also from the photography department. Is this even possible? After the girl left, the girl behind her wanted to repeat the same trick. However, Lin Chen rejected her because he had already promised someone else and could not date someone else. In fact, there is really nothing special about this girl. After seeing off about 5 or 6 customers, all the snacks baked by Lin Molan in the afternoon were sold out, even some defective ones were sold out. Senior Sister Molan. Chenling Xue was stunned. She found that the person busy inside was not Lin Molan, but a boy. She was also very familiar with this face. It was the one she had seen at the orientation ceremony. Chapter 24: Brotherly Friendship. Lin Chen, who was bending over to clean up the biscuit crumbs, raised his eyelids to look at her, then spoke lightly. "Sorry, it's sold out. I'm about to get off work. Come back tomorrow." Chenling Xue waved her hands quickly. No, I'm here to get the cake. I already made an appointment with Senior Lin." This time it was just her and Lin Chen, so she was a little bolder. "Hey, are you the senior from the welcome party this morning? Hello, we meet again." Lin Chen's memory is still okay, and Chenling Xue was the first girl he spoke to since he entered the university that morning. Well, hello. It would have been fine if Chenling Xue hadn't been recognized, but once she was recognized, her social phobia came back. Hello. Why isn't Senior Sister Lin Molan here today?" She didn't know what to say, so she could only change the topic to Lin Molan. "Oh, my cousin had something urgent to do this afternoon, so she asked me to help her look after the store." "I see. Senior Sister Lin is your cousin?" Chenling Xue felt a little regretful after asking this question. She had already told him that she was her cousin, yet she asked again. "Yes, she is my cousin." "Oh, I almost forgot, wait a minute." After saying that, Lin Chen took out the big cake from the cupboard and placed it on the counter. "I thought you weren't coming. This cake can't be kept for too long. If it is kept for too long, it will lose its freshness. Then, this is a small token of my appreciation. After all, you helped me today." Lin Chen took out a small cake and a bag of puff pastry from the same place. "Today is your birthday, right? Consider this little cake and this bag of puff pastry as a gift from your junior." Lin Chen was not interested in these desserts in the first place, so he just took this opportunity to give them away. "Thanks." The sudden gift made Chenling Xue a little overwhelmed. And humans are very thinking creatures. For example, the seemingly very small gift that Lin Chen gave to Chenling Xue. Although it is not worth much, it is a gift from a boy to a girl. This is also the first time Chenling Xue has received a gift from a boy, which means a lot to her. This also caused Chenling Xue to think. Why did this boy give himself a gift? Could it be that you like me? Did he come to find me on purpose this morning? These common adolescent thinking problems flashed through her mind. And the last time a boy gave her a gift was 7 years ago. It was a birthday present given to her by her so-called childhood sweetheart, and she is still wearing it. She had thought this was possible in the morning, and now that she looked closely, she realized that Lin Chen was so much like her childhood sweetheart, especially his eyes. Although she couldn't remember many details from her childhood, she could never forget the look in a person's eyes. She had been looking for him in the past few years, because she had not yet properly said thank you to him. That. Chen Lingxue suddenly let out a coquettish cry. She was so nervous that she bit her tongue. The courage that had just been erected withered in an instant. Covering his face with his hands, blushing. What's wrong? Lin Chen asked as he looked at Chen Lingxue, who was behaving strangely. Don't I have any small cutlery to eat the cake with? But he looked at the small bag tied to the cake, and inside it was tableware. Why? No. It's okay. Thank you. Chen Lingxue took the cake and fuel and walked towards the elevator. But after taking a few steps, she stopped. She seemed to hear a voice in her mind calling her. The voice seemed to say, "Do you really want to escape? Do you really want to give up? After searching for so many years, why didn't you tell him?" Prompted by the sound, she turned around. Is there anything else? Lin Chen asked. Chen Lingxue took a deep breath. Can I add you on WeChat? But what she didn't know was that her eyes had turned slightly red. Lin Chen was stunned. May I? Is it okay? Looking at her red eyes, Lin Chen couldn't bear to refuse. Although he didn't know her purpose, he still agreed. About 10 minutes after Chen Lingxue left, Lin Monan came back. Cousin, you're finally back. Lin Chen was so happy to see Lin Monan rushing back. This meant he could finally go back to sleep. Oh, you did a great job. Thanks a lot. Lin Monan looked at the dim sum that had been sold out and gave Lin Chen a thumbs up. I'm not lying to you, sister. Is my business more popular than other windows? How about it? Would you like to consider working for me part-time in the future? I'll pay you a salary so you don't have to spend money from home anymore. Lin Chen naturally refused. No need, cousin. Now that you're back, I'm leaving. I'm so sleepy. After Lin Chen yawned symbolically, he left here and took the elevator downstairs. As soon as he got downstairs, he quietly stuck his head out and looked around. After making sure that the school beauty guards were not there, he slipped back to the dormitory. 5 minutes later, men's dormitory 201. Brothers, I'm back. Lin Chen pushed the door open and breathed in the dormitory air greedily. In one word, comfortable. Hey, where are you guys going? Looking at Zhang Chiming and the other two who were ready to go, Lin Chen asked. Lao Lin. You're finally back. Come on, let's go eat hot pot. Zhang Chiming put his arm around Lin Chen's shoulder and walked out. No, I just got back, so I may not be allowed to drink water. Hey, we can have drinks at the hot pot restaurant. Chapter 25, Deadly Da Wusu. Private room number 2 at Heidilyu Hot Pot Restaurant in Huadu. Lin Chen, my dear wife, are you still angry? Lin Chen, I really didn't see you at that time, but now I know which one you are. Lin Chen, are you there? Lin Chen, well-behaved. JPG. Hey, Lao Lin, why were you looking at your phone so much just now? Order some food. Zhang Chiming took out a menu and placed it in front of Lin Chen. Oh, okay. Lin Chen took the menu, ordered a few dishes at random, and returned it to Zhang Chiming. Then he leaned back in his chair and stared at the ceiling in a daze. I say, third brother, why do you seem listless after coming back this afternoon? What's the matter? Were you dumped by the school beauty moo? Or was he ganged up on by the male ketones of the school beauty guards? Lin Chen was now physically and mentally exhausted, and could only sigh. Oh, nothing, just a little sleepy. Since returning from People's Park in the afternoon, the little witch hasn't sent any messages. And when she thinks about the body shape of her online girlfriend, she feels so uncomfortable. The three of them looked at each other and nodded to each other. They seemed to have noticed that Lin Chen was a little unhappy at this moment. Thinking that he was really dumped by the school beauty, Zhang Chiming patted his shoulder and comforted him. Lao Lin, since it has already happened, it doesn't matter. Even if you can't get her, there are other girls. Which girl wouldn't be moved by your looks? How does that phrase go? The end of the world, the end of the world. Sun Bin couldn't listen any longer and added. There are many beautiful women in the world, why should you love only one flower? Yes, that's it. Third brother, we have to look forward, right? Lin Chen glanced at Zhang Chiming. Although he said that, he couldn't break up with his girlfriend who he had been dating for so long, right? It was just a small conflict. But he didn't want to disappoint them, so he answered in an official manner. I see. I'll think about it carefully. At this moment, the little witch also sent a message. Little witch, oh, I'm not angry anymore. Little witch, I don't expect you to really recognize me with your brain. When Lin Chen saw the message from the little witch, he came back to life instantly. Lin Chen, it's good that you're not angry. Lin Chen, but, did something happen to you? Why did you take so long to reply? Little witch, it's nothing, it's just my roommate's birthday. Little witch, picture.jpg. In order to prevent Lin Chen from not believing it, Mu Yao took a photo and sent it to Lin Chen. Lin Chen glanced at the picture casually. It was a big birthday cake. He didn't even zoom in to look at it carefully and just replied directly. Lin Chen, okay, then you guys go play, I'm also ready to eat. Little witch, okay tilde. Putting down the phone, Lin Chen looked up and suddenly found that his three good brothers were looking at him at the same time. He immediately asked, What happened? Brother Lin, your mouth is almost grinning to the sky. Has the school beauty forgiven you? Sun Bin asked jokingly. Lin Chen immediately denied it, how is that possible? I'm not interested in her. Okay, if it's not, then it's not. You can fool your buddies, but don't fool yourself. Chen Shu also showed a meaningful expression. Of course they didn't believe what Lin Chen said. He looked like he was about to die just now, but after seeing the message sent by others, he burst into laughter and said that it had nothing to do with the school bell. Who would believe this? At this time, Zhang Chiming brought an open bottle of beer and placed it in front of Lin Chen. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Brother Lin, you're thirsty, right? The food hasn't arrived yet, so drink this first. He originally planned to bring it from the dormitory in the afternoon, but he forgot about it after taking a nap, so he could only order another can of da wusu from Heidilyu. Thanks. Lin Chen didn't care what kind of beer it was. He picked up the da wusu in front of him, tilted his head back and gulped down half of the bottle. He really didn't drink a sip of water in the afternoon because he was so thirsty. Good fellow, Lao Lin, you can really drink. Indeed, even though it's just beer, since you drank so much at once, I would like to call Brother Lin a true warrior. The three said this for no other reason than that this thing is also called the deadly big wusu. Don't be fooled by its name, it tastes terrible. Its alcohol content is as high as 4 degrees, while common beers are generally around 2.5 degrees, so the aftertaste of wusu beer is much stronger than others and its capacity is also larger than usual. Therefore, most people can fall down after drinking 2 bottles, which is why it is called the deadly da wusu. Lin Chen. He looked puzzled. Isn't it just a bottle of beer? Anyone who is a college student can drink it in one gulp, right? But soon, he came to his senses and picked up the bottle to take a look. Good guy, big wusu. No wonder he felt dizzy after drinking less than a bottle, and because he had only eaten a little dessert in the afternoon, his stomach was a little churning at this time. I'm going to the bathroom. Lin Chen really couldn't stand it anymore, so he picked up his phone and walked out of private room number 2. About 10 minutes later, Lin Chen walked out of the men's restroom of Heidilyu and washed his face in front of the dressing table. Oh my god, I didn't expect this da wusu to have such a strong after effect. I almost died from it. Lin Chen secretly swore that he would never drink like this again. He had a poor alcohol tolerance and drinking like this could be fatal. Just then, he felt a vibration in his pocket. Lin Chen shook off the water droplets on his hands, took out a facial tissue from the basket beside him and wiped his hands, then took out his mobile phone and found that it was the dormitory group that was tagging him. Zhang Chiming at Lin Chen, Lao Lin, where are you? Our dishes are ready. Sun Bin, Brother Lin, are you cheating in there? Lin Chen couldn't help laughing when he saw the message. I didn't expect that Sun Bin, who had been pretending to be a scholar for a long time, showed his true colors tonight. He is also a funny person. Lin Chen, I'll go back right away. You guys eat first. Zhang Chiming, okay, hurry up, then we will eat first. After closing the dormitory group chat interface, Lin Chen found that someone had posted a new status in the circle of friends. Looking at the little red dot, he couldn't help but click on it. The latest update on Moments was posted by a friend nicknamed Muling Xue. Muling Xue, I am not at all prepared to be 20 years old, but in fact I have already turned 20. Happy 20th birthday. Under this text, she added 2 pictures. One is a selfie of Chen Lingxue wearing a birthday hat, and the other is a photo of a big cake. Lin Chen remembered this girl, the girl whose birthday he had given the 1,000-layer puff pastry to today. I didn't look closely this afternoon. Now I see that this girl is quite pretty. Lin Chen muttered softly, clicked on Chen Lingxue's selfie, and swiped back to see the photo of the cake. Suddenly he found something wrong. After hastily saving the photo, he exited the Moments and opened the chat box with the little witch. Then he clicked on the photo sent by the little witch and compared it. This is exactly the same. Chapter 26 Lin Chen's considerate service. Absolutely right, this cake is the one Lin Molan made this afternoon. And it was shot from the same angle. The most important thing is, the location given is exactly the hot pot restaurant where he works. No way. Could it be possible that this senior knows her? And today is her birthday and we just happened to invite her to celebrate her birthday. And then in this hot pot restaurant. Although Lin Chen was reluctant to believe this dramatic scene, this idea should be the most practical. In other words, as long as he finds the private room where they are, he can see the little witch. At this moment, he was excited because he was only a few walls away from the little witch. Hiss. Lin Chen adjusted his breathing rate, pulled out a towel to wipe the water droplets on his face, and then threw it into the trash can. But just as Lin Chen was about to leave, a very serious problem was placed before him. He didn't know which private room they were in. This Huadu restaurant has 3 floors, with 10 private rooms on each floor. Excluding the rooms reserved for their dormitory, there are still 29 private rooms. He couldn't go in and take a look at all 29 of them, could he? That would be too much. Just when he was struggling, a waiter passing by gave him inspiration. He ran up and stopped a Huadu waitress. Hello sir, how can I help you? I have to say that the quality of Huadu's waiters is very high, and their quality and politeness are very high. They always keep a smile on their faces and bring the best experience to every customer. Can I borrow some of your extra work clothes? It was obvious that the waiter didn't understand what Lin Chen meant. He quickly explained, it's like this, a friend of mine has a birthday, and I came all the way from Huadu to give her a surprise and wish her well in person. Having said this, the waitress already understood what Lin Chen meant. Okay sir, your girlfriend is really enviable to have a boyfriend like you. Please follow me. Okay. Lin Chen didn't think much about it. He just wanted to verify his guess. If he could meet the little witch in this way, then he would have fulfilled his wish. He followed the waitress to their manager, who explained the situation to her and then took her to the employee locker room. The manager looked to be only about 25 years old, tall, wearing a black silk skirt and a standard uniform. The manager specially got Lin Chen a new set of work clothes for him to change into, and then considerately notified the waiters in each private room through the pager, letting them know that 5 private rooms had birthday celebrations today. Finally, based on the clues given by Lin Chen about the female college student, 2 private rooms were identified. Because Lin Chen didn't have any other detailed information, he could only go in one by one to offer his blessings. Fortunately, the waiters were with him, so he didn't feel embarrassed. After changing his clothes, the manager also handed him a red hat with a logo printed on it so that he could hide better. The boxes where the 2 female college students celebrated their birthdays were number 3 Qianzi and number 2 Dizi. Because room 2 was on the first floor, he decided to go there first. In order to prevent the waiter from being ignorant, the manager also accompanied him. Standing at the door of the number 2 private room, the manager smiled and glanced at Lin Chen. Sir, are you ready? Lin Chen straightened his clothes and nodded. I'm ready. Good. The manager confirmed that Lin Chen was ready and knocked on the door of box number 2. Come in. Following the response from inside, the manager waved his hand, and a team of waiters who were celebrating the birthday came in pushing a special cart for the celebration, followed closely by Lin Chen. As soon as we entered the door, the manager led us in singing the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. While singing the birthday song, Lin Chen quietly observed the students in the box from the back. But soon, he discovered that the cake on the table was not the one he sold in the afternoon, and it was not the senior girl's birthday. The lobby manager also came over and asked quietly, "How about it, sir, is this it?" Lin Chen shook his head and suddenly asked, "Manager, do you have other chain stores here?" The manager knew what Lin Chen meant, and he patted his chest and said, "Don't worry, sir. We are the only store within a 10-kilometer radius. And I just checked the location of your WeChat moments, and it's right here. If it's not downstairs, it must be upstairs." After hearing the manager's promise, Lin Chen felt relieved. About 3 minutes later, the birthday blessing ceremony in box number 2 was over, and Lin Chen followed the team to box number 3 on the 3rd floor, which was next to box number 2 where they had a dinner in the dormitory. "Sir, this is the only female college student who is celebrating her birthday in our store. They use their Huadu University student ID to get their student discount. If nothing goes wrong, your girlfriend should be in there. Otherwise, how could he become a manager? He even took care of these details." "Okay, thank you." Standing at the door, Lin Chen's body trembled unconsciously. This was the uneasiness caused by nervousness, but also the excitement of seeing the little witch. "You're welcome, sir. We're going in." The manager smiled and knocked on the door of private room number 3. This time, Lin Chen did not follow the large group. Instead, he waited until the birthday song started playing before entering. As soon as he entered, he saw the cake that had been cut. Although it was a little difficult to distinguish, he could still vaguely imagine the general outline. And there were also small cakes and mille-feuilles delivered by themselves. It must be this private room. He lowered his hat, moved closer, and looked in the direction where the little witch was taking the photo, but the next moment, his heart tightened. Because he saw someone familiar. Mu Yao. Chapter 27, The Student Union will conduct dormitory inspections. No. No. Lin Chen had a lot of thoughts in his mind, and images flashed through his mind one after another. The little witch's Mu Yao? But this explanation doesn't make sense. The little witch's name should end with Shui, it can't be Mu Yao no matter what. But when I think about it carefully, I encountered Mu Yao's various strange behaviors in the cafeteria at noon, and I happened to meet her in the park in the afternoon. Is this really a coincidence? These questions flashed through his mind. He suddenly felt a little confused and didn't know what to do. At this moment, a hand patted Lin Chen's shoulder, and his body couldn't help but tremble with fear. "Hey, Lao Lin, why don't you come back? It seems you are here to watch other people celebrate their birthdays." He didn't even need to think about it, their voice was Jiang Chiming. He turned around, looked at Jiang Chiming helplessly, and said in a low voice, "Brother Jiang, you scared me to death, why did you come out?" Jiang Chiming scratched his head awkwardly. "My brothers have started eating, but you haven't come back yet. I came to see what's going on." Jiang Chiming stood on tiptoe to see who was inside, but was pushed out of the private room by Lin Chen. It's okay, I'm just passing by here and wanted to join in the fun. Let's go back." If Jiang Chiming saw Mu Yao here, he would be speechless. And he couldn't let Mu Yao find out that he was here, otherwise it would be very troublesome. He decided to find an opportunity to ask clearly. Lin Chen took off his employee uniform and told one of the waiters behind him, "I'm sorry, I recognized the wrong person. Please help me talk to your manager later." "Yes, sir." "Oh, Lao Zhang is gone." Seeing Jiang Chiming still in a daze, Lin Chen pushed him. Jiang Chiming didn't think much about it and followed Lin Chen back to the private room number 2. At this time, inside Tianzi number 3. "Happy birthday to you." After the birthday song ended, the manager walked up, took out a piece of cut cake and a small gift box and placed them in front of Chen Lingxue. "This is a small gift we prepared for you, please take it." Thank you. Chen Lingxue took the gift and thanked repeatedly. "And then, we have a very big surprise for you." Anything else?" Although she had heard that Heidiyu was very particular about customers celebrating their birthdays, she had not expected it to be so meticulous. The manager nodded, "You will definitely like this surprise." But when the manager turned around to look for Lin Chen, he found that Lin Chen was no longer in the private room. At this time, a waiter whispered in the manager's ear, "Boss, that gentleman just left. It seems that this is not his girlfriend." New. The manager took out another gift box from the birthday car and put it in Chen Lingshue's hands. "This is the second surprise our restaurant has given you. Please keep it. Finally, I wish you a pleasant meal. With this ability to adapt to changing circumstances, how could he become a manager? On this side, back in the box, the four of them chatted about family matters while eating hot pot. Jiang Chiming's hometown is in northeast China. He is an only child. His parents opened a small restaurant in Huadu and the business is quite prosperous. Chen Shu is a native of Huadu. His family owns 4 stores, several of which are chains. He is definitely a rich second generation. Sun Bin, his father is an executive of a company and his family is quite wealthy. This dinner could be considered as a way to strengthen relationships. Lin Chen felt that he could get along well with them. At the end of the meal, Jiang Chiming and the other two started playing dice. They were all drunk. Lin Chen did not participate. He did not want to experience the same feeling as at the beginning again, so he took the opportunity to go out for some fresh air while they were playing finger-guessing games and to settle the bill. He walked out of the private room. Chen Lingxue and the others next door had already gone back. After all, the girls only ate a little bit at a meal and spent most of their time taking pictures. After taking them, they would go to the next place to check in. They would not stay in one place for that long. Lin Chen went to the front desk to pay the bill, but he didn't expect that the cashier was actually the manager. Oops, manager, I'm so sorry just now, my girlfriend doesn't seem to be here. The manager waved his hand nonchalantly. It's okay, I thought you were dissatisfied with our service. How could that be? I have to say your service is really thoughtful. Oh, by the way, why are you, as a manager, also in charge of the cashier? Lin Chen wanted to ask this just now, aren't you the lobby manager? Where is the cashier in charge of cash register? The manager waved his hand and said, oh, this is just one person working 2 jobs to make a living. Lin Chen also sighed, it's true, it's all about life now. If he didn't have the face of a college student, the manager would have thought he was a middle-aged man in his 40s. After paying the bill, I returned to the private room and found that Chen Shu and Sun Bin were already a little drunk, while Jiang Chiming was still eating with great interest. As expected of a person from northeast China, his alcohol tolerance is unmatched. Lin Chen called a taxi, and he and Jiang Chiming helped Chen Shu and Sun Bin back to school. By the time they arrived at the dormitory, it was already 9:20 in the evening. Huadu University is different from other universities in that it does not have power outages at night. As soon as he settled Chen Shu and Sun Bin, he quickly plugged in his mobile phone, which only had 1 bar of battery left, to charge it. At this moment, there was a knock on the dormitory door. The door of their dormitory was not locked, so after just 2 knocks, 3 or 5 people walked in. The student union will check the dormitories. Seeing the person who was leading the shouting, Lin Chen frowned immediately. Zhang Kuan.